One Room Radio. I'm Sarah Cade.
And I'm Liz Stevens.
And this is Disney Princess Deathmatch. What's the opposite of inaugural? Is there a word that is the opposite of inaugural?
Outaugural?
The outaugural episode of Disney Princess Deathmatch. We are on our final two princesses. Now, I know what you're all thinking. Sarah, you said that you were going off of the official Disney princess list. Why are Anna and Elsa on this list? They're not on the official list. And
Why
I say...
are Anna and Elsa on this list, Sarah?
Because Frozen gives me a lot of feelings. And because 13 episodes seemed... I like baker's dozens better than just a straight dozen.
Okay.
Yeah. We needed a 13th episode to kind of just round stuff out.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Also, I agree with you that it's complete BS that these girls are not on the official princess list.
Seriously.
Obviously, they're Disney princesses. What are we even talking about? This is dumb.
Yeah. They're way more Disney princesses than Mulan is.
Absolutely. Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. It makes zero... I mean, like, it's like, in case we haven't mentioned this before, the reasoning is because Frozen did so well on its own that they kept it its own merchandising thing.
So you can go buy Frozen stuff or you can buy Disney princess stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Got it.
Yes. They are not one and the same.
Which it seems silly. It seems like you should be able to blur that line without a problem.
Well,
like,
apparently
you know what I mean?
not.
Like, that should be a Venn diagram where
You would
you've
think.
got, Frozen on this side and Disney princesses over here. And in the middle,
Never the twain
you have
shall
like
meet.
the gift boxes that
Nope.
include Anna and Elsa as a Disney princess. I don't understand.
I don't either. Zero sense. So this movie came out in 2013. It was the Thanksgiving season of 2013. I remember that because I was not at all interested in seeing this film.
I don't even remember the previews at all.
The previews
I don't remember the trailers at all.
for this movie were friggin' terrible.
I have heard that before.
They
And that
were
for Tangled, they
awful.
weren't good either.
They weren't good for Tangled either. And I think that part of it is that like Disney was like embarrassed to be doing princess movies again, which is ridiculous.
So they were trying to be like, oh no, it's not what this is. That's not what this is.
Right. Yeah, no, this is a family friendly, like, look at all this Flynn Rider stuff. He's a boy and you're a boy and come watch this movie. There's a boy in it. It's not a Disney princess movie.
Weird.
Yeah, don't be embarrassed about who you are, Disney.
That's
like
right.
You do a thing.
You love
and you
yourself,
do that
Disney.
thing well.
Yeah.
Love what you love, Disney.
We're now giving Walt Disney pointers. It has come to this.
Yes. We'll visit him in
We're
his
experts
cryo
now.
chamber. That's well, after all of this, I feel like we are. But so Brave came out right before this film. And if last week was any indication, I mean, it's just like what you said, Liz. It was like you had all these high expectations for this great date, and it was just the worst date. And so then Disney comes crawling back and is like, but I'm bringing you two princesses and two goofy companions for comedic effort and two of all these things. And I'm just like, nah, man, I don't think so.
Everything. That's a good point.
I'm absolutely not. But we have this guy who's also an orphan. No, I don't want it. Disney, do not want. The only reason I went to go see this film is because we were in Texas visiting my aunt and
this
uncle
so clearly
for Thanksgiving. Yeah, because
it changed your life.
It did. It literally changed my life. But we were down in Texas for Thanksgiving visiting my aunt and uncle, and they like to take us out to the movies all the time. And they were like, do you guys want to go see that new Disney movie Frozen? And we were like, they're buying the tickets, whatever.
Right,
We got nothing else going on. Sure, okay. So we go, and the theater was packed. And so I remember that my dad and aunt and uncle had to sit like on the other side of it, and my brother and I were trapped in like that one aisle that's like two seats over on the far, far left of the movie theater.
Yeah.
So we're like trapped over there watching this. The movie starts, and it opens up with like that pretty Scandinavian singing or whatever.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, but
Which
I mean,
actually sounds like Native American to me or something like that at first.
It sounds African. It sounds kind of similar to the beginning of The Lion King, which is confusing.
Yeah. I was thinking of Lion King and Pocahontas somewhere between. Yeah.
I mean, maybe I don't know that much about Scandinavia.
I absolutely don't know that much about Scandinavia, despite having lived in Wisconsin and, being subjected to lutefisk. I don't know that much.
So can you tell me really quick, what is lutefisk?
Lutefisk is fish that is somehow not like cooked, but like technically cooked, like ceviche is cooked in acid. This is cooked in lye.
What, the crap they make soap out of?
Yeah.
The
that's
stuff
like,
that burned Brad Pitt in Fight Club?
Mm-hmm, that stuff.
It actually burned Edward Norton, I just remembered. Nobody call me out on
They
that.
were the same, though.
Oh, spoiler alert for Fight Club!
Uh-oh. What have
That movie's
I
like 20
done?
years old. think it is almost 20 years old. Anyway, so we're sitting down, we're
that.
watching the movie. The movie starts, the music starts, and exactly, yeah, it's very confusing. And I'm like, well, I mean, what? Because here's the thing: none of the trailers showed that it was a musical at all, which was bonkers. So I had no idea that this movie was a musical until you see.
So weird. What were they thinking?
Saw. I have no idea. They weren't. They just weren't thinking. I have no clue. So the saw comes in through the ice, and they
which
start
was super
singing.
cool.
It is
by
super
the way.
cool.
That whole thing where like there's the fuzzy ice, and then you see the guy walking up on it, and the saw comes through. Like it wasn't 3D for me,
right.
But I was still like, okay, that's cool.
That was pretty cool. I did get to see this one in 3D, and there are some really beautiful moments, especially the for the first time in forever. Is it reprise or reprise?
Yep.
Okay, when that happens and all the snowflakes are everywhere, it's really gorgeous. And then the very
By the way, it is reprise, and I say it that way all the time, and everybody else always says reprise, but it is reprise. I'm sorry, I was gonna let it just be a thing where everyone can be right, but everyone can't be right because I'm right. Go ahead.
Anyway. So they start singing Frozen Heart, and I flip out because one of the reasons why Brave was so very disappointing to me in theaters is that it wasn't a musical.
Yeah, that's true.
There were songs, but it wasn't a Disney musical. And I was like, what am I even, why are you like, you're jerking my leg around, Disney? Like, what are we even doing here? What is even the point of this? They start singing the song. I remember like slapping my brother over and over again, like about the head and shoulders, going, "It's a musical! It's a musical! It's a musical!" He like elbows me. He's like, "Shut up, God!" Like he's too cool for school. But so I instantly, like, guys, no joke, immediate like 180 turn. I was in. Abso-friggin-lutely was I in.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was super quick.
All it took was just them singing a song at me. And then it just got more and more and more wonderful and beautiful and glorious as the movie was going along. As soon as we walked out, I was on Twitter, but didn't have a lot of Twitter friends at the time. So I think I also got on Facebook. And I was
not on Twitter then.
the gospel of Frozen. I was like, everybody needs to see this movie. It is the best Disney movie I've seen in years. Da-da-da-da-da. It's so good. And I think that, let's see, I saw it 3 times in theaters. One of those times was for my birthday. My friends Jamie and Rachel took me to go see the sing-along version of it. And this is a funny story because we go into that theater and the theater is empty except for we 3 and one dude on a date. All right, with this girl, and we're the only, and they're like 2 aisles ahead of us. And so my friend Jamie, who is an extreme extrovert and very sweet, she just turns around and she goes, "So are you guys excited for the sing-along part?" And they both go, "What?" So they either had the best or worst date of their entire lives because, I mean, as soon as I walked out of the theater the first time, I bought the soundtrack and memorized every song like within a day. I
recall this too, yes.
And that was all I was listening to ad nauseum. You guys, ad nauseum.
Yeah.
I may be the sole reason why our particular, I mean, like, some of our friends have kids, and like when Frozen came out, their little daughters wanted to have Frozen. Their kids watching Frozen over and over is not the reason why a lot of our friends dislike Frozen. It's me. I'm the reason. And I am not ashamed. I love this movie unironically and with all of my heart. Like, you guys, I love this movie as much as I love The Scarlet Witch, if not more.
Wow.
Very high.
Do you love it enough to make your very own YouTube music video parody song about it?
I do.
Link in the show notes.
So, yeah, my friend Megan and I, we were obsessed with this. Okay, oh man, this movie not only changed my life entirely, but also fixed a relationship in my life. There was this girl named Megan who worked at camp with me, and we used to butt heads all the time. We just could not get along. And the biggest reason was that she's like 7 years younger than I am, and she was so similar to how I was when I was that age. I just wanted to strangle her constantly. And like we would fight and fight and fight. And we saw this movie on 2 separate occasions, or like not together, but we saw it. And then it fixed our friendship, you guys. This movie fixed our friendship and we were able to be buddies. And so we did a parody song called "Do You Want to Go See Frozen?" And I was a minor YouTube sensation. Our video was featured on 3 separate websites.
That's right.
And it was the weirdest time of my life.
You were on BuzzFeed.
I was on BuzzFeed. Or like Cinema Blend or something. I don't even know. But anyway, so that was how I was slightly internet famous before podcasting. So,
right.
Yeah. I love this movie a lot, you guys. Now, having said that, I have not watched it in a number of months, and I watched it today. 3 years after this film has come out, I am finally capable of saying that I do think that Tangled is objectively a better film than Frozen.
Wow.
And that is a big deal for me.
That is a big deal for you. That's very big of you, Sarah. I'm proud. You've come so far.
Yep. So I've said it publicly now. I said it on Twitter earlier, but everybody's freaking out about the Tonys as we record this.
Yeah. Everyone's watching the Tonys but us.
But us.
Because we don't have TV.
No.
Because while we're very ahead of the game with a lot of our tech,
TV is not one of them.
Yeah, the TV thing is not it. We have
really
Netflix and Amazon.
So we'll just look for all
it.
of the Tony performances on YouTube later, I guess.
To be fair, I have actually never seen the Tonys ever.
I've only seen them a couple of times. I saw them whenever Wicked was first coming out.
Oh, of course, because you were into that too.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
So what is, Liz, what is your story with Frozen? Now that I've given you my trifecta.
Sure. I had this friend who will remain nameless. And when this friend went to Texas with her family and saw it with her dad and her brother and aunt, she talked about it all the time. And she tweeted about it all the time. And I wasn't on Twitter then, so she just showed me her tweets. And
I feel like that's not true.
Then you don't even know this person.
I'm sorry.
And then she did a video on YouTube about how great it was and how everybody should go and see it. And then about how it's going to change your life. And it was the best movie she'd ever seen. And it'll change your mind about everything you think about Disney. So when I saw it, I was like, okay, yeah, that was a Disney movie too. This is the same one, right? That you were saying was like the thing with the stuff.
Oh, dear.
So sometimes those super high expectations can hurt a little bit. Although I will say that before that, I had a Disney playlist on Pandora. And Let It Go came on, the Idina Menzel version.
Yes, which is the only version.
And it arrested me.
Really?
It stopped me in my tracks, and I stayed and listened through the whole thing. And I was like, that is an excellent number. And I can see why the movie is so great if it's, filled with numbers like that one. And that's my whole story. That's it, basically. Yeah.
Your kids were obsessed with it for a little while.
Yep. It was one of Corbin's very first movies that he wanted to watch over and over again, which was super cute. It was that one, and he picked random ones, like Seven Brights or Seven Brothers.
That's right. Yeah. So it was Frozen.
And also, remember, It's a Wonderful Life. He would want to watch no matter what, any time of the year, and he called it George. I want to watch George. And that is a very slow movie in which just about nothing happens as, a 2-year-old would see it. But he loved it and was glued to it. And I always remember that it was the first song he ever sang when he was 2 years old. He'd sing, door, door, door.
That's right, yes.
And it was really cute. And also on the part where they say, Jinx, Jinx again.
He could
Every time he would say, Jija.
Yeah.
Every time, and he was really excited about it.
You guys, I was never happier that all of my friends had children who were 7 and under because I was in hog heaven. Anytime I was with any of my friends who had kids, they were we're driving in the car and I'm like, oh, I could put Frozen on for the kids. That's not a big deal.
If they want
into
to.
it. I can sing with them. It's nothing. I was the perfect babysitter for several months because I would just sit and watch Frozen with these kids over and over again. So let's talk about this movie.
Okay.
So we get through the first song. We see the guys hauling the ice around, which is really cool.
It is really cool, and I do enjoy the song. Story-wise, it's kind of problematic, completely unnecessary, and could be cut.
You're right, yes.
However, I do enjoy the song for what it is.
Yeah.
It really, though, could absolutely be cut, and you would lose nothing.
The only thing that you need from that song is Kristoff, being introduced to young Kristoff and young Sven.
You don't even need that, because
I guess you
later,
don't, but
when
it
he
helps
sees
a
the
little
ice,
bit.
he could just be a kid who followed them, and that's fine.
I suppose that's fair.
And again, not a big criticism, because I like the song.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. And really, you don't actually probably need young Kristoff and young Sven. We really could start with the view of the Aurora Borealis and then going into the girls' bedroom.
Yeah.
And we have...
now, that being said, every time I hear that song, all I think is foreshadowing. That's the whole song for me. So
it is, yes. Yep. They're just letting you know exactly.
Beware the frozen heart. That's what the whole movie's about, you guys.
What is a Horcrux? Don't even worry about it, Harry.
Do you know what foreshadowing is?
So we cut to Anna and Elsa's bedroom, and we see Anna bugging her older sister Elsa and finally asking the penultimate question, do you want to build a snowman?
Yep.
And so then we go into the big, huge ballroom area, and we see that 8-year-old Elsa has these wicked, awesome ice powers.
Which is very cool. And all
is
of this
very
is my
cool.
favorite part when they're little.
It's
And again,
really lovely.
it's extra charming for me because it stuck with my kids. Like my son, like I said, liked to watch it all the time, and that's when he learned to wake us up, and he would do it just like that. Wake
Really?
up, wake up, wake up, pushing just like that.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh.
Pretty cute.
That's
Occasionally
really
he'll
sweet.
try to like open your one eye. We're like, don't do that.
Get your hand out of my face. Get what's in your hand out of my face. So this is the second Disney princess ever to have some kind of magical ability. The first one being Rapunzel. Although Rapunzel didn't actually necessarily, I mean, like the power was in her hair or possibly in herself.
Also tears. I don't know.
It's difficult to say.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Feelings give you power in the Disney universe. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Okay.
So we see that Elsa has these ice powers and she's building up all the stuff and they make Olaf and I love you, Olaf. It's so great. It's so cute. Everything is
Super
wonderful.
cute.
The music is absolutely brilliant, done by Christoph Beck, who if you guys probably know the little Disney short, it's called Paper Man, where it's all black and white and it's really interestingly illustrated, and the music for that, anyway, look it up. It's really great and I love it. That music is going to be the processional music at my wedding because it's so beautiful and lovely. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really, really excellent. I love it a lot, and it made me cry when I saw it in the theaters. It's a beautiful, like,
I'll have to
5-minute
find
love
that.
story. It's great. So then Elsa accidentally hits Anna right in the face with a blast of ice magic.
Damn,
because Anna wasn't being a very good listener because she's like 4.
Yep.
And Anna rolls to the floor. Her hair changes color. Elsa starts screaming for her mom and dad, and then they run in. And then we get the girls over to the trolls. And the lead troll, Grandpappy, gives one instruction.
Very generic instruction, though, Grandpappy.
Very generic instruction. Like, if you're not careful, your power will consume you, and fear makes it bad.
Well, fear is your enemy.
Fear is your enemy.
But the visual for that
was
made it
terrifying.
seem like people being afraid of you will come and hang you as a witch, is what it seems like.
Which is fair.
Yes.
And so the king and queen, the king mostly decides, well, we're going to protect her. We're going to keep her safe. We will keep only the most important staff. Basically, they keep Carson Hughes and like shut the gates and don't let anybody know. And they remove the memory of the magic from Anna. And a lot of people want to give the king and queen a lot of flack for this. But I want you to take like 10 seconds to imagine that your 8-year-old daughter has these ice powers and presumably has had them her entire life.
Right.
And now has accidentally, I mean, like, Anna was unconscious for the entire trip out to see the trolls.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And she was ice cold the whole time. Like, they didn't know.
She's as cold as ice.
Every time for
Every
you
time.
is what you told me. I'm into it.
Every time.
And so I also can see how, like, I would want to be able to protect my daughter with the scary ice powers, but I also want to protect her little sister who doesn't know any better.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
so
sure.
I think that they were trying to do their best. I don't think they did a great job, but Disney parents generally, as a rule, don't do a super excellent job.
Mm-hmm.
I think that so far the best parents we've seen have been like Tiana's parents and Rapunzel's parents, but they were in the film for literally 130 seconds.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah, definitely.
So we remove all of the memories from Anna. We send them back to the castle, and that's where we get Do You Want to Build a Snowman, which was so charming to me. I loved that we got so much storytelling going on in that song where we see the years are passing. Something like 14 years, because, okay, here's the situation. I bought the deluxe version of the album, which includes all of, like, the demo tracks of songs that didn't make it into the film. And I highly recommend it because some of these demo tracks are really great. There's a song that they had intended to be Anna's introduction song, which is fantastic. It's one of the best songs I've ever heard. And they also have a song where it was supposed to be seeing Anna and Elsa growing up from Anna being a baby up to them being about like 8, 10, 12 years old.
Oh, okay.
Which is really cute and really sweet. And so I know from that Anna is 4 years younger than Elsa.
Okay.
And if the ages end up being that Elsa is 21 years old, she's the oldest of all of our Disney princesses.
Okay.
Which makes Anna 17 or 18.
Okay.
Thereabouts. So when the queen is coming of age, it's not that she's 18, because first of all, neither of these girls, I mean, like, if Elsa were only 18, then Anna would have to be like 14 or 15, and she does not look 14 or 15.
Not that has
so yeah, exactly. Anyway.
That's meant anything in the past.
Right.
Yes.
Check Sleeping Beauty again, where she was supposed to be 16 and she looked 28.
Yep.
But yeah, so Elsa is 21 years old and Anna is about 17 or 18. So when Elsa was coming of age, it was because she was 21 rather than like 18 years old.
Gotcha.
And now she's the queen, all that stuff. So we see the girls growing up. We go through the entire Do You Want to Build a Snowman? Their parents freaking die.
It was really sad.
It was
was
sad.
Really lovely too. The shipwreck was cool. Also, there's ships in this movie. I like ships.
Do you?
I'm kind of into them.
Okay, I had no idea.
Tomorrow, which is like months ago in podcast land.
Hello, future people. It's August now.
What? Anyway, I get to talk about all the insane, crazy ships and black sails, and I'm really looking forward to that.
Super excited for you. That's great. Yeah. So their parents straight up off it. And this scene gets sadder and sadder the more and more I think about it. Like, first of all, you get the part where like they're leaving and Elsa's like, do you have to go? And they're like, you're going to be fine.
Yep.
No, she's not. She's been trapped in her room for like 14 years.
Yes.
This girl does. I mean, I'm assuming that she came out for like dinners and stuff, but I mean, Anyway, we'll be able to talk about kind of some of the themes that I'm able to gather from this film a little bit later. But so their parents die at sea. And then you see that they've got their 2 gravestones, and you guys, their parents died at sea. They do not have bodies under those gravestones. They're just 2 big gravestones.
Yeah.
And then Liz pointed out Elsa couldn't even go to the funeral because she can't control her powers or her emotions.
Right, so she can't grieve with everybody else.
And Anna can't grieve because her sister's not there for her.
Right, so
and it's
she's
like,
there alone.
It's terrible.
And feeling more alone than she has in her
than
entire
ever.
life. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really rough. Fun fact. The directors of this, there are 2 directors of this film, and there's 1 writer. The 2 directors are Jennifer Lee and I forget his name, but it doesn't matter. And Jennifer Lee was the writer of the film as well.
Brave New World. I like that.
What?
Where you remember the female director's name and the guy doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
That's quite rare.
This is the future.
The future is now.
It's 2016. Come on. So Jennifer Lee and some dude. But they did an... You're not going to know what this means, but presumably our listeners will know what this means. Okay. They did an AMA on Reddit. AMA
I know what that means. Ask me anything.
Holy crap. I apologize.
I know what things are.
I'm not worthy. I bow down to you, etc., etc. So they did an AMA on Reddit, and somebody asked them, where were Anna and Elsa's parents going when they were on the ship? And Jennifer Lee responded with, a wedding. Now stay with me here.
Okay.
The movie, when we begin the movie proper, right before we do For the First Time in Forever, it says 3 years later.
Right.
Their parents died 3 years prior to that.
Yes.
This film came out in 2013.
Right.
3 years prior to that was 2010, which is when we had Tangled come out. I think, and this is the theory that I subscribe to.
Right.
Especially because Jennifer Lee, the director of the film and the writer of the film, said that they were going to this wedding. That Anna and Elsa's parents were heading to Rapunzel's wedding because Rapunzel's mom is the sister of Anna and Elsa's mom. That's why they look so alike. That is actually one of the criticisms that this film had whenever we first started getting some of the artwork coming out. People were like, these 2 characters look exactly like Rapunzel. Come on, Disney, get it together. Yeah. They look exactly alike because they're cousins. Yeah, dude.
So this is like a fan theory with some evidence to back it up.
Not necessarily. Well, there is actually textual evidence because during For the First Time in Forever, in the bottom right corner,
that's right,
when Anna is dancing
across, are totally there.
Yes,
which again doesn't make them related, but definitely makes them nearby.
Why else would Rapunzel and Flynn be there except just to be there for a queen's coronation? Their kingdom is nearby, but it's more likely that she's there at her cousin's coronation. But also, they don't know each other well because Rapunzel was locked up in a tower for 18 years.
Everyone thought she was,
so she's just kind of showing up and is hey, my mom's alive, your mom's dead, whatever, it's your coronation. And then obviously they couldn't really include her because it's not like Rapunzel 2. Here's the story about Anna and Elsa, whatever.
Yeah.
But that is the theory that I ascribe to that has some textual evidence attached to it.
Okay, I like it. It's good.
Yeah.
I like it way better than the one where
Tarzan is their brother?
I didn't hear that one.
But
the one
that's
where
one.
like the witch in Brave is Boo in like another dimension.
That theory is insane. Look insanity. At the Google like the complete like connected Pixar theory. It's ridiculous. I don't like that one either. So we get through For the First Time in Forever, which I think is a lovely, beautiful, wonderful song.
It's really quite fun, actually.
As far as like the I Want songs of princesses go, I love this one. And
this is the I Want song, isn't it?
It absolutely is. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And one of the reasons
really cute.
It's really cute. And the other thing is that when we were watching it earlier, I mentioned this. our princesses now, because they're slightly more contemporary, I feel like they aren't quite as poised as some of our princesses like Aurora or Cinderella or Snow White. And so to be able to see Anna like wrap herself up in the curtain and like smack herself in the face with a little tassel, I'm like, you are me. I am you. We are one and the same. This finally is a princess I can relate to, aside from
is
Rapunzel.
a lot like you. It's very true. Yeah.
And I love that about her. I love Anna and Elsa very, very much because I was like, I get you.
Yeah.
I get it. And so we get through for the first time in forever. Excellent song. Absolutely love it. And just Kristen Bell and Idina Menzel are ridiculously talented.
They're so good. Yeah. This is very difficult music.
Yes, it is. Idina Menzel herself even said that she can't just roll out of bed and sing Let It Go.
No.
Like it takes work to be able to hit those notes and do that thing, because it is so it's very Broadway-esque. Particularly Let It Go is. But I read somewhere that one of the reasons why the casting directors chose Kristen Bell is because she had like just laying around recordings of her singing Little Mermaid songs.
Oh my
like
gosh,
songs from
that's
Little Mermaid,
darling.
and she sent that in like with her audition tape,
Oh my
and that
gosh,
was
of course she
why
did.
they selected her. And do you remember the time that we were watching an episode of Parks and Rec, and Ingrid DeForest walked on screen, and you said, Sarah, do you know who that is? And I go, yeah, it's Ingrid DeForest. We hate her. She's from Eagleton. And you were like, no, that's Kristen Bell. That's Anna from Frozen. I was like, no, it is.
And you
not.
lost your mind. I do. I felt so happy I knew something about Frozen that you didn't know.
I had to like close my eyes and like rewind the scene like 4 or 5 times. Blew my mind. I was like, what even is this? But she's great. She's awesome. She's excellent. And she and Idina Menzel just kill it in this movie. It's absolutely ridiculous. This is the second Disney film that Idina Menzel has ever been in. The first one being Enchanted.
That's right. Where she was just wasted.
Yeah, absolutely she was. Yep. So we Disney was like, our bad. Let's try this again. And then did a good thing.
Yes.
This time around.
Quite.
So then we have the big coronations. Oh, right after, for the first time in forever, we meet Hans, Prince Hans of the Southern Isles.
We do meet Prince Hans of the Southern Isles.
He is
first impressions.
He's so cute and so sweet
cute.
and so darling. And look at his little freckles and his little sideburns. This movie, when we get to the part that we're going to get to and talk about, it killed me. I was so mad.
And for me, I hate to be that girl, but I was. So I'll share it with you for the sake of honesty. As soon as he said, I have 12 brothers, I was like, Oh no, son. Oh no, son.
See,
I knew there was trouble.
I very rarely am able to pick up on things like that.
Yeah.
It'll happen occasionally, but most of the time I'm totally oblivious until a thing happens. Everyone's like, oh, I totally knew that they were going to do such and such. And I'm like, are you joking?
That's funny.
I was legitimately surprised.
No, 13th in line for the throne, I was like, wee wee, alarm bells go ringing. I'm like, no, this is a red flag, sister.
Well, we can go ahead and talk about this actually, because we're going to get into Love's an Open Door here pretty soon. And a lot of people, there were a ton of theories going around. There was one theory in particular saying that Hans legitimately was in love with Anna until the trolls said, if we get rid of the fiance, then everything is fine and Anna can marry Kristoff. But that is actually incorrect.
Yeah.
Hans has been a scuzzball from the beginning, because when you're listening to the lyrics of Love is an Open Door, Anna is talking about meeting Hans and meeting him and meeting this person and the two of them being together.
Yep.
All Hans is talking about is
himself.
I've found my own place. But with you, she says, I see your face, and he says, I found my place. He's constant. He gestures out at Arendelle. That
guy.
You guys, one of the reasons I love this movie so much is that the symbolism in this film, this movie is dripping with symbology. All right?
Well, symbology. Well, I also like, too, when they do, it's crazy. We finish each other's
sandwiches.
That's what I was going to say. Not probably, though. He's probably like, seriously? I can work with that, I guess.
Like from a villain perspective, like Hans's whole deal is, well, I'm going to swoop into Arendelle, and everybody keeps talking about like this queen who is like a shut-in, and I bet she's never met a boy in her life, and I'm just going to like charm the heck out of her. And then Anna literally like just slams into him out in broad daylight, and he's like, I got to change my plan a little bit. And then they're in the coronation hall, and Elsa like shoots the ice magic out, and you see Hans's face, and again he's like, I gotta change my plan a little bit.
Smart guy, smart villain,
very smart villain.
Yeah, also very smooth when he catches her on the dance floor.
Oh yeah, and then he just drops the champagne glass on the passing
very
tray.
Very smooth, and she is like anti-smooth the whole time. Your physique helps, I'm sure.
You're gorgeous. Wait, what? I love her so much.
She's pretty adorable.
She's very adorkable.
Very adorable.
Yes,
yeah,
quite.
She does make kind of a dramatic scene at the party.
Yes, and I do completely agree with you. Both of these girls make some pretty questionable decisions.
Right.
I'm able to give both of them a pass because, again, Elsa has been locked up in her... Well, because I like them. But no, legitimately, Elsa has been locked up in her bedroom, and the only interaction she's been getting, presumably, is with her parents, and a lot of those conversations are, I'm scared, I don't know what to do, stay away, I don't want to hurt you.
Yeah, okay.
Or being, like, at dinner where she feels as though she can't be friends with Anna anymore because she feels as though she's going to hurt her again, and she wants to be able to protect her by keeping to herself. And what's really interesting about this film is that in the original script, and you can even find animatics of this, Elsa was the antagonist. Hans actually going to be the hero, and Kristoff didn't get added in until much later. But Hans was a captain of the guard and was going to be our romantic interest and the hero of the film. Elsa was going to legitimately be the antagonist. There's an animatic of her, like she has Hans captured in her castle. He's got a different name, and she's talking about how like nobody's going to know where he is, and she's got all this power, and she had a completely different look. She had this black, spiky, like spiked up hair, almost like a flame, which was really interesting.
Crazy.
In her original designs. The only reason why we get the version of Elsa we get is because the songwriters, Bobby Lopez and Kristen Anderson Lopez, wrote the song Let It Go.
Yeah.
And the directors of the film heard that song and they said, we've got to scrap it all. We have to completely redo this.
Wow.
Because Let It Go is not a song sung by an Ursula or a Scar or Maleficent.
Yeah.
Let It Go is a song sung by someone who has finally gotten this weight ripped away from them.
Well, it's another I Want song, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Yes, exactly. And so they completely changed around the story, which is really interesting. And really cool, I think, that they were able to allow the music to affect the story so much. And
that is cool.
Yes.
And not every writer can do that because it can kind of be a bruise to your ego. It's easy to say, no, this doesn't fit my story. Go back and write it again. Instead of recognizing this is genius and beautiful.
Yeah.
And let's build something together.
Right, exactly. And so
I really respect that.
It was absolutely the right call because there were so many people who had anxiety issues or issues struggling with depression who were able to see this movie
hear
that song and be like, no, I get that. And that means something to me because you look at Elsa and you see her, even when she's practicing for the coronation for the first time in forever, and she's just got the candlestick and like the little music box, and she's shaking and she covers everything. Like she cannot control herself. She cannot make herself fit into the mold she's supposed to be in as the queen. She can't fit her father's shoes as ruler of Arendelle.
Right.
Because she's still the scared, like, 8-year-old little girl.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really touching and it's really painful to watch. And especially if you are somebody who has like struggled with those issues before, I'm not quite as able to identify with Elsa as much as I am with Anna, where it's like you see somebody that you know and love hurting and you don't know what to do. And so in an effort to try and like figure out what's going on, you accidentally attack that person. And Anna is yelling, what did I ever do to you? Like, no, what is the problem? What is going on? And Elsa's just trying to say enough. I don't want to talk about this. And Anna just keeps pushing and pushing. That I absolutely identify with. That has been me. I have done that before. And so this movie really just has like a lot going on, which was really cool.
It also became a flagship song for the gay and lesbian community, didn't it?
I think so.
If it didn't, it should have.
I believe that it did.
I think it did.
Because here's the thing.
It's been a long time, so it's hard to remember.
It's been 3 years.
Yeah, so it's been a while. But again, with podcast land being crazy, with today being the Tonys, today was also the big shooting in Orlando.
Yeah.
And so that's something that's just kind of like fresh on my mind. And so when we watched Frozen and when her dad said, conceal it, don't feel it, don't let it show, and put the glove on, I was like, this is so big.
Right. And it's not, and I do believe that like for the gay and lesbian community, they were able to take that, but I think that can be taken by a lot of different people feeling a lot of different
I think
things.
a lot of different communities
think
held
about,
on to it.
And we've talked about this before, and even rather recently, think about like somebody who has grown up in the church and done really well in the church and is like, has always been a part of youth group, is a pastor's kid, and then suddenly they don't believe anymore.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I can't let anyone know. I can't tell anyone I'm feeling this way. Or even if you're just struggling with something, sadness or depression or anxiety or whatever, and you're like, I can't let anyone know. Conceal, don't feel. Conceal, don't feel. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
No.
Is the moral of the story. And talking about more of the symbolism, anytime during the film when we see Elsa being afraid, trying to conceal and not feel, the way that whenever she's using her ice powers, everything comes out spiky and sharp and very aggressive looking.
Yes.
When we get to the end of the film, after we finally figured out,
well, and even before that, when she's doing Let It Go.
Yes.
Her magic is beautiful.
It's
when she's
gorgeous.
Doing Let It Go.
Swirls and very curvy and like, much softer looking.
Yeah.
And she is able to build that castle, which is absolutely freaking ridiculous. That dress is amazing. I do concede that Elsa's powers make no sense.
0 cents. Totally
0
crazy.
cents.
Insane.
But whatever.
Yeah.
She's got ice powers. She can make dresses and also can create life. I don't know. And I was even willing to let the dress thing slide. I was like, whatever, we just needed that super cool effect. But and we will not be grading either Elsa or Anna based on Frozen Fever. But I saw Frozen Fever, and she did make more dresses.
Noted.
And also create more life.
Gotcha.
So really weird combo powers. Quite possibly the most powerful Disney princess in canon. Aside from possibly Kida from Atlantis, but she's not on the official list, so we'll have to see if we get there.
I don't think I've seen that one.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Michael J. Fox is in it.
And I've seen bits and pieces. Yeah, but not
yeah,
all the
we'll
way
get
through.
there maybe. We'll see how that goes.
We'll see.
So we get through Let It Go, which won an Oscar, won all the this movie.
And I totally get it.
You guys won 74 awards.
Yep.
That's a ridiculous amount of awards, and had 54 nominations that it didn't win the award for. Insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. So we get through Let It Go. Elsa is now in her like wicked awesome palace. And so we cut back to Arendelle.
It looks like a very lonely palace.
It does. Very lonely and very cold. And
Very
when I was watching it
literally
earlier,
cold.
I was like, well, what is she going to do about bed sheets? And I was like, wait, she can make dresses. She can definitely make sheets. She's cool. Literally.
Yep.
I don't know what she's going to do about food, but I don't know. Send marshmallow to the market.
Grocery store?
I guess.
Down to Oaken's Trading Post. Pick me up some lutefisk and carrots, if you please.
Gross.
They were all out of carrots.
Nothing but lutefisk in your lonely, lonely, sad castle where you're concealing and not feeling. Man, oh man, poor Elsa. So we cut back to Arendelle, and Anna straight up is like, Hans, you're in charge. I've known you for approximately 4 hours. Take care of my kingdom while I go find my sister.
She's a very trusting girl.
She
She's
is.
like if a golden retriever were a woman.
Yes. Quite.
Yeah.
It's like you show, and here's the thing, like, you see this in real life with relationships where if somebody grew up and maybe they didn't receive a lot of love, a lot of physical affection, or a lot of like emotional support or anything, then the first person who shows them any kind of attention,
that's so sad.
they will throw themselves to and attach themselves to. And that you'll see that a lot in abusive relationships where it's like, well, you know, this person grew up in this home where there was no love. And even though this guy is like beating on her and yelling at her and all this other stuff, he tells her, I love you. And that's enough. And it's terrible. And I'm glad that we didn't have to see that go to its fullest extent.
No.
But we are seeing that,
sure
like,
would have though.
Yeah, it absolutely
Hans
would
got
have.
his
Yeah.
way.
Yep. I mean, he straight up would have killed her. Just would have done away with her. Certainly tried to.
Yeah.
There's so much going on in this movie, you guys. It's not just sing songs about snowmen and trolls. We'll get there in a minute. I wish we didn't have that song. So Anna heads out on her horse, who has that neat pattern in its mane, like the black and white checker pattern. And that is actually in real life what horses in like Norway or Finland will look like. They will dye their horses' manes to look like that.
Oh, they dye them. Okay,
yeah,
that makes
and
so much more sense. I was like,
they can't grow like that, Sarah. That's
I mean,
insane.
they could. It's just
no, they'll like
odd.
dye them, and so
Okay,
they'll have like
cool.
the checkerboard, or you'll even see some where they have little hearts like shaved into their mane or whatever, and
That's
so it's
cute.
like all white, and then you got these little black hearts along.
Yeah.
It's really neat, and so it's a neat bit of realism that they tucked in there because you look at it and you're like, that's dumb. Why'd they do that? Well, because that's what horses look like over in Scandinavia.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's really legitimately cool. So Anna rides on her horse. We don't get the horse's name. He's not her animal companion anyway.
He runs away.
He does. Whoops. I mean, to be fair, I probably would have too if I were that horse. I don't know. Like, it was scary. There's snow everywhere. Anna didn't grab a jacket. She just threw a cloak on over her coronation
no
dress.
gloves. Yeah, nothing at all. Yep.
Listen, I love Anna, but she's very much like me in that she's not very prepared for things. Like, she is ready to go on an adventure at a moment's notice, but not like prepared to go on an adventure at any moment.
Yeah.
She's
totally
excited to be invited to the party, though.
Yeah. I was born ready.
And I was born ready. And so she gets to Oaken's sauna and is able to find a cloak and dresses and boots, which all, thank God, fit her perfectly. And she runs into Kristoff, who is there, and he's like, "Oh, you think you're having a hard time? I sell ice for a living." And
he's super grumpy and cantankerous when she meets him. He
really is. And you guys, now that I know that Jonathan Groff is the voice of Kristoff, I'm even more upset that he didn't get like his own musical number.
Yeah.
They
also
actually,
it's so different from King George.
It's so different.
If you hadn't told me, there's no way.
Oh
I
yeah,
would have known.
it's impossible.
No way.
And it's really funny because whenever you have the deluxe edition of the album and you listen to the demos,
I love that. I remember this.
Yeah, there's a song that they the Lopez's originally were going to have Jonathan Groff singing over the credits, and they were like, we felt bad about not giving him his own song, and so we were going to do this as a joke. And it's really charming and really funny, and I highly recommend it.
I don't remember that part necessarily. I remember the part where he's singing the reindeer are better than people or whatever song, and then at the end he just says, "Why didn't I get a real song?"
Yeah, no, that's the thing. It's like a rock version of "Reindeers Are Better Than People," and one of the lines is, "I know that reindeers isn't plural. I know that it's supposed to be reindeer," and it's really funny, you guys. It's really great and super cute. So we get Kristoff, we get Sven. They finally team up with Anna. She chucks a bag with a pickaxe right at him because again, this girl,
right at his midsection and or more delicate.
She's got
parts.
a lot of brains, but no polish.
No polish.
No
That's
polish.
A good point.
Yeah.
Elsa has polish
And some brains.
Yeah.
I mean, she's
not got brains. She's just
no
also,
heart. A frozen heart, if you will.
Heart. Yeah.
Yeah. So we start heading up the North Mountain. We get into just one of my very favorite scenes whenever they are in Kristoff's sled and she's
cute.
talking about Hans and it's like, well, what's his last name? Of the Southern Isles.
Yeah.
And all of this stuff. And I love that so many times throughout this movie, we're like, you can't marry a man that you just met.
Yep.
And
Disney's giving us a nod and
he's like,
acknowledging,
we're so sorry.
Okay,
we
our
figured
bad.
it out. Sorry.
We're more progressive now.
Sorry. Yeah, exactly. That actually, I think, is one of the other reasons why the LGBT community was able to attach themselves so much to this film is that Elsa didn't particularly have a love interest. And so it's possible that, and I don't know, like, I don't know this for a fact.
Just that the possibility is there. Yeah.
Exactly. And so it's possible that they may have been like, well, here, finally we have a princess who didn't want, there was no love interest at all. Even in Brave, though Merida didn't pick a love interest, there were these boys that were brought in. And she showed interest at least when she thought that giant mountain man was one of the sons, where she like peeked up out of her little cap there. Slight interest. It's like, wait, that one? Okay, yeah, I'm into it. Whatever. I've been there when you're like, movie. Okay, that guy's pretty cute. And it's like, I like you. I like you too. It's a bad spot to be in, but I've been there. Anyway. So then Anna shows her weird super strength where she bashes back a wolf using only a lute. It's true love. Pow.
I'm so glad you called it a lute because I was just thinking, why does she have a ukulele? Like, that's so random.
It is not a ukulele.
That's why. Because I don't know things. You know things.
I know what things are. Yeah.
Like we both got to use that.
I do too.
Podcast.
Yeah, it's
That's
really
excellent.
great. And then they leap over the ravine. I love whenever Anna is like, jump, Sven! And Kristoff goes, you don't tell him what to do. I do. Jump, Sven! I love
but then also he cuts he then cuts the rope right then to make sure that she makes it.
Right, yeah.
And therefore not making sure that he makes it. So it's really a lovely self-sacrificial move.
Is one of the best princes we
super
get.
Dig Kristoff.
And he's not a prince yet, but presumably he will be.
And they're going to get married.
Right.
Also, we'll have to have a link in the show notes to the super cute fan art of them once they're married.
Oh my gosh, with their cute little babies.
It is adorable.
Yeah, we'll find it.
I usually am kind of like immune to that kind of cute thing. I'm like, oh yeah, you're really cute. Moving on. But that one, I was like, I feel like
their
I'm
life
getting
together
teary-eyed because they just love each other so much.
They love each other so much. And it's really genuine. And they have, anyway, we'll get there.
Adorable. And
again,
also
it's
a
one
little
of
bit sexy in a weird way. And it's good. I like it.
All right.
You didn't think so? Well.
You mean the fan art?
Yeah, the fan art.
I guess the one where they're like in bed together is pretty.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like
lovely.
it's not untoward.
No.
It's not like not safe for work or anything.
You could absolutely show your kids. Yeah,
probably.
For sure.
Yeah.
Just that if you are married or even just aware of
marriage,
the intimacy happened in the morning or after, the afterglow, if you will,
There's fan art of the
There's
afterglow.
fan art of
The
the
next
afterglow.
picture is her pregnant, so you figure it out.
Exactly.
So they leap across the ravine.
If you will.
They leap across the ravine, and then we get to meet Olaf, who, you guys, when I saw this movie in theaters, I had not laughed so hard since I
Olaf
saw
is
Tangled.
super cute. Olaf makes me want to hang out with Josh Gad.
Josh Gad seems like a super cool cat.
Yeah, he really does. Well, and he talks about when he was in this movie, he had a son who was around my son's age when he was watching it, like 2.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the show was on, because first of all, I mean,
It's a
parent
2-year-old
in America is going to be playing the show for their 2-year-old.
Right.
But also, it's his dad's show, So, but his son came into the room and was pointing at the screen saying, Dada, Dada.
That's so
and he
cute.
was like so moved that his son could recognize his voice. And I just thought that was the cutest thing I've ever heard.
It's so darling.
Yeah,
so
it's adorable.
Olaf is amazing. Olaf is just the most innocent, beautiful soul. Do you think that the snowmen that Elsa creates have souls?
Souls. No.
Okay.
They
have a consciousness, but that isn't necessary. Well, I mean, he thinks and talks and has thoughts for himself.
Yes. I don't know.
Here's my other question.
Whose definition of soul are we using?
I don't know.
In the Christian universe that I belong to, no.
Well, no. He's like a dog. Dogs don't have souls.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But also dogs are lovely and do have kind of souls, and I think people get upset about that.
Well,
idea.
I mean, okay, but they have souls that go into the earth.
They have dog souls.
They have animal souls are different from people's
souls. Have dog souls. Yes.
Snowmen have dog souls. Okay, that's not a band name, but that's like the album name. We'll figure out the band name as we go through.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
New EP, I call it. Snowmen have dog souls. Dang. Here's my other question for you.
Yeah.
And this was another piece of fan art from Frozen that wrecked me real hard.
Oh, dear.
So at the end of the film, Summer comes back and Olaf is on the ship and he's like, this is the best day of my life. And quite possibly last, starts to melt. Elsa whips up this little
my own personal flurry.
My own personal flurry. And he's able to remain alive underneath that. Do you think, does that mean that Olaf dies when Elsa dies? Or is Olaf now immortal?
No, he dies when Elsa dies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because him being immortal is way sadder, right?
Is it sadder?
For him to like be by her bedside as she's like dying?
Well, when you put it that way, yeah, I suppose so. It's just weird to have this immortal snowman that can never die.
It is
and
kind
also
of weird.
Probably never gets smarter.
Oh, he's a double Olaf. Does he even understand death?
Probably not.
Well, some people are worth melting for. I think he does on some level.
Oh, yeah. Anyway,
he doesn't understand that
he dies
warmth
when Elsa
will
dies.
kill him, but
yeah.
So he dies when Elsa dies. Great, excellent. Moving on.
Okay.
So we run into Olaf. We get In Summer, which is a cute song, but I tend to skip it on the soundtrack because I'm really just here for the belting
It is
music.
really cute, though.
It is
I like
darling.
It. Yeah,
I love it a lot.
It's pretty darling.
I love at the end when you see Anna and Kristoff just eating the sandwiches, looking very confused.
Yes.
And so we go from there to we are heading
that was
up.
also, I should say, Lily's favorite part.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Winter's a good time to stay in and cuddle, but put me in summer and I'll be a
happy snowman. I laughed
Yeah.
so hard. I embarrassed just the heck out of my brother in that movie theater.
That was her favorite part.
It's really great.
She ruined the joke for me early on by telling me all about it. So
that's
that's
hilarious.
okay. Still cute. Still cute.
So then we get to, I think that we see Elsa in her palace some more. No, not quite yet. I think that we go back to Hans and the horse has come back. And so Hans,
Oh, no. Yeah.
grabs some dudes and runs off, whatever, who cares. And so we finally get to the Ice Palace, and Anna is seeing it and is naturally like, whoa, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And then has Kristoff and Olaf wait, and she says, just wait out here a minute, and then goes inside. Olaf starts counting. You guys, I tested this with my friend Mara.
Right.
It is exactly 60 seconds
Yep.
when Olaf comes rushing back in.
You even hear him yell, 60, and then he comes running in.
But I
Yep.
mean, I thought that maybe it was one of those things where they were like, they would play with time a little bit, like how in movies, like the bomb timer is going down, but it's been at 17 for like the last 10 minutes.
Right,
No,
for sure.
it's legitimately 60 seconds. And I love that.
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah, so they get back in. Elsa realizes that she can create life and even says, you're alive? To which Olaf responds, I think so? And I remember my brother leaning over to me in the theater and going, now that is a very good question, actually. And
I'm animated.
I move and I talk. I don't have lungs. I mean, he got impaled earlier. I don't have a skull.
Or bones.
It kills me every time. I laughed so hard again today. It was ridiculous. So we get to,
because it interrupts that first little cute moment between Kristoff and Anna. That's why it's so cute.
Yeah, he's just my skull's very hard. I don't have a skull or bones. But then we do get the reprise. For the first time in forever. Which is one of my favorites. I love hearing.
Very dramatic.
That's why I love it. So this again is like very Broadway-esque. Like you've got Kristen and Adina like just belting it, and I love it so much. It's such a great part. And then Elsa ends up striking Anna in the heart with the blast of ice. And
then creating an abominable snowman to chase her off the mountain.
Yep, named
it's really
Marshmallow.
Not a great sister moment for her.
No, actually. It is not. But we have already established that like Elsa is about as good at keeping her cool as I am. And I'm okay with that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Fair.
she's still learning.
Yes.
She has not been socialized very well.
That's true.
But yeah, so sends Marshmallow after him. They dive off the cliff. Anna's hair turns more white. We go to the trolls, and this is where the movie totally loses me. I don't care about the trolls. I don't care about the troll song. Why is that our final song?
Well, this is the thing. It's like it's fine as a song.
It's fine. Just fine.
But it ends up being the finale. It's so weird because when I'm first watching this movie, it's like song after song after song after song, and there's barely even a breath in between. And I was thinking, wow, well, that's neat though, and I like it. I mean, I feel like they're coming kind of one right after the other, but that's okay.
Right.
And then you get this one, which is like, again, fine. And then nothing.
Nothing.
To the end of the movie.
What I don't understand is that there is no Do You Want to Build a Snowman reprise, which would have been perfect.
Yeah.
If like, because you get Anna coming out, she
You're
changes
right.
into, she's like the ice crystal statue now. And somebody did it on YouTube. Emily showed me. She sent it to me on Twitter earlier. But for Elsa to see that and for her to be able to finally respond with like, yes, I want to build a snowman, like talking to Anna, like,
it's huge.
How did we miss this? Why is the troll song the last song? It's okay though, because neither Anna nor Elsa sing in that song, so I don't have to count it in their scores.
That's true.
Yep.
For today anyway.
Today anyway.
Okay. Yep. That's right. Okay. Sure.
So we leave the trolls. We figure out that it's True Love's Kiss. True Love's Kiss has got to win the day. We got to figure it out.
Actually, that was just a guess.
That was, an act of true love. That's right.
Oh, like a True Love's Kiss.
Yeah, sure.
She just guessed.
Yeah. Which, is that just a thing in the Disney universe? Like in every film you're in, is it just like, are you just aware of like how we are aware of something like, oh, like your permit test? Like, oh, True Love's Kiss. You know. Yeah, it's like a rite of passage, a True Love's Kiss. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it's mentioned in this film. It's mentioned in
oh no, it's what woke Snow White and Sleeping Beauty. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. It's mentioned in Enchanted. Like it's an actual thing, like a capital True Love's Kiss.
Right.
The TLK. You know, you gotta wait for that, boys and girls. You don't just want to waste that on anybody. You can't just go around kissing everyone.
Oh, dear.
Or can you? I don't know. Not in Disney films. Anyway, so we start to head back to the palace. Kristoff already so in love with Anna at this point that he's like, no, we got to get you back to Hans. We have to do the True Love's Kiss. You love Hans. You love Hans. You love Hans.
Oh, it's so cute.
He's really great. Kristoff is pretty
charming.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
So we get her back to the castle. And then we cut back to Elsa's Ice Palace, where the color schemes going on in her palace at any given moment are really interesting.
I did notice that. Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't mention it today when we were watching, but I know like the color palette of the whole show is very cool colors. Yeah. And even when they've got like the reds, they're like pinkish maroons, you know?
Yes.
So it's all this very cool color scheme.
Yes.
And that time when the chandelier falls is the only time I recall really seeing the color like that, like yellow.
Yeah, yeah. And so when we see that Elsa is happy, then everything is very this light, crystal clear blue. Whenever she's really anxious, when she's pacing in that room saying conceal, don't feel, conceal, don't feel,
kind of
everything is like that dark red, like fuchsia, purpley stuff, and everything's getting spiky and it's like growing scarier.
Right.
And then whenever the Duke of Wesselton, played by the amazing Alan Tudyk. He's brilliant and wonderful and lovely.
I really like you.
I like you a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great guy. We invite him over for dinner all the time. He's
all the
just a
time.
super cool
He
dude.
just never responds.
Yeah.
Text me back, bro.
But whenever the Duke's guards are there and the entire palace is like yellow because she's like afraid, but also angry, but also fierce. And I'll tell you what, by the time we get to there, I mean, first of all, it's ridiculous that like one night out away from the palace gave Elsa the ability to create this entire castle. Like 20 minutes after the fact, like she now is able to build up this whole castle and like control her powers that well.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Which I understand, like, we're doing a movie, we were trying to, like, do a thing here and, like, rush along, whatever. But then whenever the guards are attacking and she's able to, like, pierce that guy's shirt in, like, all the right places and then has the spike, like, right at his throat and she's pushing the other guy, like, her control has gotten ridiculous. And just imagine.
But that's because she let it go. Like,
You're
I'm
right.
okay with that. Because
It's
because she accepted that this is who she was.
Oh, I see.
And because of that, it came naturally to her.
Got
it was the stopping it she was having trouble with.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense to me. Yes, I was just going to say, imagine how much more control she would have if they had done this in her childhood.
Yeah.
If they had just had a conversation and just been like, we have to let
really
you practice.
Crux of it. Yeah.
It really is. And it is problematic. It is, I mean, again, you're a set of parents trying to do your best to protect your daughter.
Yeah.
And then, but it
is like, from a writer's standpoint, it is the epitome. It's like textbook case of false conflict.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yes. Because if they had sat down for 5 minutes and been like, okay, Anna, your sister has magical powers.
Yeah.
We need her to train.
But they're dangerous. So we're having to work through it. Yeah.
Yes.
Don't touch the hot stove.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Totally.
Yep. Precisely. Yeah. And so we see how powerful Elsa has become, like, there whenever the guards are attacking. And she's just, she's so cool. She's so BA. It's really great and really excellent to be able to see her in this. And then this is the one place where it's, like, kind of weird, and I'm not really following Hans's plan because he stops the guy from shooting her with the crossbow and sends the chandelier dropping down, right?
Right. Yeah.
Effectively saving Elsa's life, only to take her back to Arendelle and, like, chain her up. And I'm not sure what his plan, his plan seems to be to tell her your sister is dead and it's all your fault.
Yeah.
To get the people more afraid of her? The people are already afraid of her. Like, this town is like, there's no way really that 100% of the people are like super cool with Queen Elsa.
Do you think he was trying to kill her by dropping the chandelier on her? That would make more sense.
Well, but then why didn't he just let the guy just shoot her with the crossbow?
Yep, I don't know.
I don't know.
I guess so. He could be the hero because if no one came back and said that he did everything he could, etc. or whatever, then.
But again, the people are already afraid of Elsa. Like, he doesn't need to save Elsa. Like, Elsa is already the enemy to these people. Like, she caused an eternal winter.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting.
Okay. All right.
Because we still haven't had our reveal yet that he is just the worst guy ever.
Right. Yeah. But I would say though that he was just being careful because. Although people were afraid and weren't sure what was happening.
She is still their queen, I guess.
Yeah, and she was so beloved for so long, and it's only been a few hours.
That's exactly right. Yeah, I think it's been like a day.
Right, yeah.
Okay. So we get Elsa imprisoned in the palace. We get Kristoff finally takes Anna back to the palace, and she rushes into the room where Hans is, and she goes, Hans, you have to kiss me. And I'm like, this is my girl. That's absolutely what I would do in this situation, is just immediately like blurt it out. And he's like, what? And then we get that scene that, again, I had no idea was coming, and I gasped so hard in the theater that I choked for the next 5 minutes. I was overgasped. I was shocked. I was angry. I was betrayed.
Yeah.
It was really well done, I feel like.
That's so good.
Yeah.
I really wish that I'd had that, honestly.
Yeah.
That's really
It was
cool.
really great for me. I really enjoyed it. And again, there are a lot of people on the internet who are like, no, Hans really was a good guy until we got to the troll song and all of this, or, just blah, blah, blah. No, dude, he was smarmy from the very beginning.
For sure.
Yeah. Liz knew. I knew. I mean, I didn't know. I know now. But yeah, he's been a bad guy the whole time. So then Anna is like dying in this room, and then Olaf manages to come in, unlocks the key with his carrot nose.
Olaf is
magic.
Maybe my favorite.
He's
really like Olaf a lot. Well, and I missed it to like the 5th watching because again, when your kids are watching shows,
it's just on.
Yeah, you're doing a million other things. But when I realized that he accidentally threw his arm in with the kindling, and I was like, oh wait, and grabs it back.
He's so great.
He's so cute.
I love.
And I was like, oh, so this is what he's like. It's amazing, but don't touch it. Yeah, really cute.
Yeah, Olaf is Again, just the most beautiful, innocent creature.
Yep.
I love,
and yet wise,
very
in
wise.
his way.
Yes, I
It's like,
love
you really
all
don't
of.
know anything about love, do you?
I guess Kristoff doesn't really love you.
Yeah, but then he goes, "You're right." He ruins it right after that. Maybe not.
No, I think that he's just genuinely funny and just, I mean, he represents the fun and the love and the enjoyment and the innocence that Anna and Elsa had as children.
Oh, he does, doesn't he? Oh,
Yeah.
I love him even more now.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it even more.
Like a little baby unicorn.
Baby unicorn.
Oh, look at that. I've been impaled. I love everything that Olaf does. I love whenever Kristoff's looking at his arm. He's like, how does this work exactly? Stop it, Sven. Try to focus here.
He calls him Sven, too.
For so long. Wait,
Yeah.
Kristoff?
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
And I love,
so funny.
this guy is crazy. I'll distract him while you run. Why aren't you running?
He's very cute.
Olaf is the best. He's so great.
cute.
And we absolutely are counting him as the animal
He
companion.
is the
in
animal
this film.
companion.
Yes.
Thank God.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we get to, so Olaf helps Anna to escape. Elsa has escaped from her prison because she remembered, oh yeah, ice powers.
Right.
So does covering her hands actually stop some of the power? This is really interesting because she would wear the gloves all the time.
Yeah.
And it was only when she took the gloves off that, like, the scepter and the little, I don't know, incense burner, whatever the heck that thing was, started to get ice over them. And then it wasn't until Anna removes the one glove when Elsa whips around and her right hand gestures that she causes, like, the giant ice barrier to go.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I mean, like, she even with her hands chained up in that prison is able to get, like, the powers going somewhere. So her powers do whatever the plot needs them to do, I guess. At any
I
given
think
moment.
that's pretty much what
Probably
it comes
so.
down to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she breaks out, and then we've got, like, there's just the snow flurries everywhere, and everything's going crazy, and Hans comes up to her, and he's like, your sister is dead because of you, and she's like, no! Her heart breaks, she falls down, all the snow is dead and gone.
My favorite part of the movie visually, I think.
It's
there
really
are two.
great.
Yeah. I really like how, like, the intensity of the storm changes. So that whole part is really fun to watch. So, like, when it starts out and people are like, oh, it's snowing. And then by the time we get up to where we first meet Olaf, it's gorgeous.
Yes.
It's perfect, picturesque, beautiful snowy landscape. And then when they're heading back into the village and the snow has just like so piled up that everything is like really these soft neutral tones, all whites and grays, and the birch trees is gorgeous. And then right before that, everything is swirling and storming, and like the ship is falling, and it's like the heart of the storm.
Yeah.
And then we get this just stillness and quiet, and I do feel like it's gotten colder than it's been ever before. It was really, really well done.
It really, really is, and it just shows how much of Elsa's power is affected by what she is feeling because she's been scared, she's been anxious, she's trying to get out of there, all this stuff is going all over the place, and then to hear that the one person she's spent her entire life trying to protect by staying away from them is now gone because of the last interaction that you had with them, and she's just broken, completely broken, and again, not really given the chance to mourn. She couldn't mourn her parents. She can't mourn her sister now. Not that Anna is actually dead. But anyway, and so then Kristoff and Anna see each other from across the way, but Anna turns and sees that Hans is about to attack her sister and gets over there and is like, no. And Anna is so brave.
She is.
She does not know that she's going to turn into this magical ice statue, but straight up throws her hand up in the way of a sword blade wielded by someone who clearly knows how to use it.
Kristoff was coming for her, so she thought she was about to be healed.
Yeah.
So she absolutely sacrificed her own healing in order to have an attempt to save her sister. Yeah.
Who hasn't spoken with her or spent time with her or been around with her for the last 14 years.
Right.
But she loves her so much. And that's even what happens. Like we see, so it happens, everybody's sad, but then we see that, after, and this would be the moment. This would be the moment that we would do the, yes, I want to build a snowman reprise if we were to do it. It would be in this, where it's like we zoom in a little more and we don't
heart.
We don't see Hans or Kristoff or Olaf. It's just Anna and Elsa singing that to her little sister.
Oh my God.
After all this time. That would have been the moment. That should have been the finale. Why was it the troll song?
What are you doing, Jennifer Lee and that other guy?
Yeah. Jerks. Anyway. So Anna's fine, you guys. She makes it through. It's totally okay.
Right.
And Elsa even says, "You sacrificed yourself for me." And Anna says, like, she tells it like it is. I love you. You're my sister and I love you. You're my family and I love you.
Yep.
Like, regardless of whatever, I love you. And that, was the act of true love.
Yep.
True love can thaw a frozen heart. And
so why was Olaf being willing to melt for her in the room not an act of true love? Is it because he has a dog soul?
I think it's because he has a dog. It has to be, right? Because
It has
otherwise,
to be something.
it's got to because okay, if we're looking at specifically like a sacrifice for a person because you love them,
that's
like,
it. Like that.
I mean,
he was going to melt in that room.
there is
lighting
no
a fire
greater
for
love
her.
than laying your life down for your friend.
That's right.
Right?
Jesus said that. He was
yes,
right
he
about
did.
all the things.
Yep, he sure was. And so Olaf is in this room. He starts this fire to warm Anna up. His arm is in the fire, snatches that back out, starts the fire, and then is like, whoa, it's so pretty, but then backs away. And Anna's even like, Olaf, you're melting. Some people are worth melting for.
Yep, that should have been it.
That should have been it.
Or cut the line.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
it's an excellent line, and I love it. I love the
It
friendship
is.
that we
No,
see
it's
between
darling.
Anna and Elsa. But
Yeah.
Anna and Olaf. But you're absolutely right. That also was a moment of true love, and the only reason it doesn't do anything is because Olaf has a dog soul. What a weird place we got to because of this movie. Like, I love this movie. I'm aware that there are some problems, such as, do these things that Elsa makes have souls? Why is she also capable of making dresses? I don't understand. Why did her parents, the troll said, protect her and don't let fear is your enemy. Oh, well, you know what? We're going to lock our kid up in the castle.
we'll just live with fear ruling us for decades.
For
That'll
14
solve
years.
everything.
She'll be fine. Listen, my sister had a daughter and she got kidnapped and they've been having a hard time. I know all about this, okay? You got to lock your kids up. Hide your kids, hide your wife. And hide your husbands because they're stealing everybody out here. I don't know. So then love will thaw. Elsa figures it out. Finally. Oh my gosh, will you please tell us about what Corbin said about Elsa?
I totally forgot about that. Okay. So early on, when Anna was outside the one door and Elsa was on the other side of the other door right after the parents had died.
And they're both super duper sad.
And they're both super duper sad. And Anna says, so what are we gonna do? My 3-year-old said, I don't know, like be happy or something.
And it was amazing. You guys.
Be happy.
Be happy or something. I wish that we had known that way early on in this podcast run, because then it's and this princess is having some trouble and I don't know, just be happy or something. That would be the hashtag. Forget DPDM. Hashtag be happy or something. I don't know. Really great stuff. So we get to the end. Hans is being sent back to his 12 older brothers in the Southern Isles, who must know, just what a wanker that kid is.
Right. The worst.
Geez, don't let him around your nieces and nephews. I don't know.
And then we build the skating rink for everyone, the eternal skating rink in summer, and everyone's happy.
Presumably happy.
What do you mean?
I just mean that if it turned out that my beloved queen suddenly had ice powers and dressmaking powers and could create life with dog souls. That, she nearly destroyed everything, right? It was a big deal. And people are inside, everybody is getting so cold that they're to the point of freezing to death. You can't, and we know that these powers are linked specifically to Elsa's emotions. One bad day. There are at least 3 days of the month where she's going to be having bad days, right? First of all, she's 21 years old.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I don't know how you were at 21. I don't think we were quite friends then yet.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, we might have been. No, we totally were, because you had your kid at 20, right? Lily, you had Lily when you were 20?
20.
Okay,
yeah.
well, you've always been way more put together than I have been.
No, was it 20? Yeah, I think so. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Well, when I was 21, if I had ice powers when I was 21 that were swayed by any whim of there would be no planet. You'd all be dead. There would be no podcast.
Right.
And just,
it's true. Everyone
they
would
look
be dead.
happy. I will freeze your friends and family to remind you of my love. So then we get to the end, and we will not be discussing Frozen Fever, although, like,
No, I've never seen it, so we can't.
Yeah, oh, well, there you go.
No.
Literally, the only reason I went to go see the live-action version of Cinderella is because I knew that Frozen Fever would be right in front of it. And when we went and saw it in theaters and Frozen Fever played and it was done, I stood up and I was like, okay, see you guys later, as a joke, and everyone laughed. Like, turns out I should have just gone to the van.
Agreed.
Agreed. So now we are going to get to our grading for Anna and Elsa.
It's time to grade the gals. I have no idea what to expect. Let's just do this. I wasn't even thinking about it when I was watching the show, to be honest, except for attire, which is obviously going to kill it.
And songs. I mean, Elsa's song literally won
Aria's,
awards.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
all
sure.
the awards, 74 awards.
No, okay. Well, let's go. Who are we starting with?
Let's start with Anna.
Anna.
Let's start with
order.
Anna.
I like it. Starting with Anna, who is the protagonist, so that works.
Finally have so many princesses that I can't like see the score really well on the Excel spreadsheet. Okay, so we're going to start with Anna.
Okay.
So we're going to start with autonomy. So how often did Anna make her own choices, and how often did those choices affect the plot?
Anna had quite a lot of autonomy.
Quite a bit of
Actually,
autonomy.
I mean, she was prevented from having as much as she could have had because of her position at birth.
Yes.
And just because she was trapped inside
Right.
the castle. But she chose to go off and follow Elsa. She had the wherewithal to think, I need to get a guide. So she hired Kristoff. So yeah, I feel pretty confident giving her a 5. In
I
autonomy.
do too.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, excellent. How about her attitude? I love Anna. I think that
She gets
does
a 5.
Okay,
yeah,
great.
I don't
Thanks.
think there's any argument to be had here. She gets a 5.
Excellent. I just listen, you guys. Like, I do love Rapunzel. I love Rapunzel very much.
Yeah.
And yes, the one scene where it's like best day ever, worst day ever, where she's
Right,
oscillating between like happy and sad. Yes, that is me. But legitimately, if I were a Disney princess, I would be Princess Anna.
You would be Anna. Yeah.
Thank you.
No,
Yes.
I agree.
Awesome. Animal companion. Anna's animal. Oh man, I just realized that Elsa does not actually have an animal companion.
Well, she gets.
Does she get marshmallow?
She gets marshmallow.
Okay,
yeah. Great. Okay.
Awesome. So Anna's animal companion is going to be Olaf and not
Olaf.
Sven, because Sven is Kristoff's animal companion.
That's right.
When we inevitably do Disney Prince Deathmatch.
Right. I like it.
It'll be Disney Prince's Deathmatch, just so we can confuse everyone.
I like it. Good.
So Olaf is a 5,
It's
right?
a 5. There is uncontested 5s for Olaf. He is the best. He's hysterical.
Okay. I don't want to like freak anyone out yet, but she is she has all the same scores as Rapunzel right now.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
The next one is attire. So Anna and Elsa both go through a number of Elsa really has the 2. Anna technically has 3. She's got the coronation out. Well, no, Anna also has 2. She's got the coronation outfit. She has her Winter Wonderland outfit.
Right.
And then she's got like
The little green dress in the end, too, when she presents the sled.
yes. So she does have 3. That's exactly right. And then again, I wish that we could do Frozen Fever because their dresses look amazing in that, but we can't. So we're not gonna. So did you like Anna's outfits?
I love the costuming in this, actually.
Really?
I think it's really charming. I love the extra details. It is very Nordic. Oh man. Okay. It's hard because like for me, like the ultimate 5 is the Cinderella dress.
Right.
Which is amazing with the gloves and the thing. So I would say for Anna, so for Anna, that would put her at a 4.
Okay. How about Anna's arias? So the songs that Anna sings are Do You Want to Build a Snowman?
Yeah.
For the First Time in Forever. And
Love's an Open Door.
Love's an Open Door.
Okay.
And then For the First Time in Forever, Reprise.
Right.
They are really excellent songs.
They are. Again, we detracted from Belle's scores because they were not
the only one that's a duet is
solo. Yeah.
but she
so
does
the
so her
solo one is
solos-
First Time in Forever, and it's only the first one.
And even First Time in Forever, there is a bit where Elsa sings close to the end of that song.
True.
So really, her only fully solo song is "Do You Want to Build a Snowman?"
Okay. So
let me see what we gave Belle. Belle got a 3. Now, to be fair, Belle sings Belle, which is like 25% her, 75% a ton of other people.
Right.
And then the love song that she sings with the Beast,
That
which is
little in
about
the middle,
50-50.
yeah.
So she doesn't even have a song where it's just her singing.
That's true. So a 4. I'm comfortable with a 4.
Okay, great. Excellent. Next, how well would Anna do during a zombie apocalypse?
Anna was actually surprisingly competent. In
She
this movie.
really is.
She
and
really
again,
was.
weirdo super strength with that loot, being able to like
And not at all. She showed no fear in
Never.
that moment.
She's so brave.
Yeah, she was still like griping with Christoph as she smacked that one back.
Lit like the baggie on fire and chucked that backwards to get the rest of the wolves.
She showed no fear during jump Sven. She was the one who had the idea. Even he just took it as his own. I tell him what to do, but she was ready for that.
Whenever Marshmallow attacks them, I was born ready. Like
she threw a snowball at Marshmallow.
Yeah.
5. She doesn't have a frying pan, but whatever you give her, she had a loot. I mean, whatever
if you give this girl a frying pan, she is literally unstoppable.
She's going to use whatever she needs. Yeah. So I'm comfortable with giving her 5. Man, is Anna going to beat Rapunzel? I don't know how I feel about that.
Anna is 0.5 points behind Rapunzel. Rapunzel got a 28.5.
Sounds exactly right.
Anna is a 28. I was really
okay.
Like
that sounds exactly right to me.
If she had gotten a
gut
5,
check, a gut reaction, I feel like that's
she's
perfect.
really great. Not as good as Rapunzel.
Yeah.
I was about to freak out though. Like legitimately,
that would be crazy. Okay,
insane.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're gonna do Elsa real quick. Okay, Elsa's autonomy. How often did Elsa make choices, and how often did those choices affect the plot?
Her autonomy is not as strong.
It's not as strong, so I don't want to give her a 5.
No.
Do you feel comfortable with a
even
4
when she?
Or
No, I don't.
3.5.
Even when she left on her own, she did it because she was fleeing because she was afraid and she didn't know what to do.
She really
Trying
her
to protect
autonomy
people or
doesn't
whatever.
get super good until after Let It Go.
It's true.
And
which
even
was like
then,
her song
a
that gave
lot
her
of her
autonomy.
stuff is still very much motivated by fear and
It's
not
very reactionary.
Yeah, she is not as autonomous as her little sister. So, do you think like a 3?
I think a 3 is
Okay.
perfect. Yep, agreed.
How do you feel about Elsa's attitude?
Her attitude is not super great, actually.
It's not. It does get significantly better by the end of the film, but for a lot of this film,
like the very end.
No, that's exactly what I'm saying. Most of this film, she is very afraid, very anxious, very scared, which I don't want to say that people who are afraid, anxious, and scared are wrong or that that's bad, but it's not. Those are not positive attitudes. You know what I'm saying? Like those you would never say like, oh, that person's anxious and it's like super great or whatever.
Yeah.
Generally speaking,
okay,
like anxiety and fear and are going to be like
you want to work through and work past.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Now let me see who else we've got kind of on here because so people that we gave a 4, like Jasmine got a 4, Mulan got a 4. Tiana got a 3 because she was kind of whiny a lot.
She was really whiny, yeah.
I don't know which do you think is worse? Is it worse to have somebody who is very fearful and anxious, or is it worse to have somebody who is whiny?
I put them really close. I think a 3 is good for Elsa.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good. Okay, all right.
Sure, why not? Okay. I'm still like reeling by Anna's ridiculous score.
Okay.
And I love Elsa's song very much, but I do love Anna.
No, for sure.
And so we're gonna get there.
Okay.
So Elsa's animal companion is Marshmallow, and I mean, dang, right?
Marshmallow is awful. I would not want a Marshmallow.
Oh, really?
No.
Did you know? And you may not actually know this, but at there is an end credit sequence to this film.
Yes.
The after credit sequence,
the crown and he puts it on. Right?
He finds the crown and then
I have a really important question, Sarah.
Yes.
How does that crown stay on?
It just sits in the snow. It's like you just pack it on top of a snowman.
No.
On Elsa?
Elsa.
It's like
The only acceptable answer is Disney magic. That's the only one.
Because it doesn't have a comb part, does it?
There's nothing. It's just a little flat piece of metal that she just like tucks in her hair and it just stays, which is impossible.
Disney magic, Liz.
Disney magic. That's all I'm saying.
What do you want to give Marshmallow?
Marshmallow gets like a 1.
Wow, really?
Maybe a 2
I would
because
fight
he can
a
at
2
least protect
because he
you.
can protect her.
Okay,
yeah.
a 2.
Merida's horse got a 2, and Marshmallow is at least as good as
then.
Merida's horse.
Okay, did we give him a 2?
Yeah, dude.
Way to go, Angus.
Attire. I'm going to argue 5.
I think a 5 is good.
Great.
Yeah, she made great dresses. Yeah.
She really does make excellent dresses.
Yeah.
With her ice magic. Her aria, 5. It's literally an Oscar-winning song.
Yeah, it's an amazing song. It really is.
Zombie apocalypse, 5.
Oh, yeah. The zombies are dead. That's
great.
The end.
Yep. Yeah, she freezes them all and they're dead.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so Elsa currently has a 23, which ties her with Jasmine.
Bam.
So
we need a Lily bonus
point. Hey, Lily, how's it going?
Great.
Excellent. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
It's been a really long time since you were on the show.
It has been.
I thought we were going to have to implement you a lot more than we did, but it turns out that your mom and I have a lot of very strong feelings about some of these princesses and not very strong feelings about some of these other princesses. So the last time we had you on was when Ariel tied with Cinderella, and then you betrayed me to my very core and gave the point over to Cinderella over Ariel, and I suppose that by now I'm over it.
Oh, sorry about the core betraying thingy.
It's probably fine, I guess. But I know that today you're going to make me really, really super proud, because today we are in an interesting situation where we have Queen Elsa from Frozen. You know about Frozen, right?
Yeah. I don't live in a cave.
That's true. Yeah, you're like a living human being.
Yep.
Yeah, so you know all about Frozen. Yep. Well, we have Elsa currently tied with Princess Jasmine, and that will not do. So we are going to bring you in. We brought you in. You're here. I brought you in here.
Yep.
You're wondering why, and I'm telling you why. The reason why is because I now need you to give out probably a couple of Lily bonus points. We may end up with like some sort of kind of weird daisy chain situation going on. So we've got our list right here. So we've got Elsa and Jasmine both sitting at a 23. Lily, who would you rather? Listen, I'm not gonna like badger the witness here or anything. I'm not going to like lead you on or any of that kind of stuff. But I'm just going to ask, who would you like to give your Lily bonus point to, Elsa or Jasmine?
Oh, Elsa.
Why?
Well, because Elsa's like super BA, and she had like a whole bunch of people like doubting her. She had her entire city who like doubted her and thought she was a monster, and she had to like retreat to this super cool ice palace, which is super cool. And,
literally, it's literally super cool. It's made out of ice.
Yes.
Yeah. That was
Pun intended.
Good. That was great. That was excellent. Okay, so Elsa at a 24, which means, and I was right about the daisy chain, you guys, that means that Elsa is currently tied with Belle for 24 points. So, Elsa or Belle, Lily?
Belle. I'm sorry.
That's totally fine. So why do you choose Belle over Elsa?
Belle is like, I feel like I can like relate to her more.
That's fair. Okay, yeah.
So this is super biased. I'm sorry.
Lily, in case you haven't figured it out yet, this entire show is nothing but personal bias.
Oh, okay.
Yep, you did it.
Well, all right.
All right, great. So giving Belle an extra point there actually puts her up at a 25, which, oh no, again.
Oh dear.
Okay, so now Belle and Ariel are currently tied. Hey, remember that time that you apologized about the core betrayal to my very, very soul? Now is your chance to go ahead and rip my heart right out of my ribcage with your bare hands and throw it on the floor and stomp on it until I die. Who do you give your bonus point to, Ariel or Belle?
I feel bad now.
No. I'm sorry. I really am badgering the witness. No, this is totally you. This is your point, because these films are aimed at you. Like you are the demographic. You are the demographic for these movies. So who would you rather go on a road trip with, as your mom likes to say constantly, Ariel or Belle?
Wouldn't that be kind of difficult, road trips for Ariel? She has a tail. Well, I guess at the end.
Not at the end of the film. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I feel like Belle.
Belle?
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
that's
sorry.
okay. So is it still just that really being able to relate to Belle in that way?
Yeah, and it's just that she was like, I just love her so much because
that's totally fair.
Of that point where like Gaston's all like, marry me or whatever, and it's like, and she's like, now you pig, now.
That's good. I like that. So now you get to betray your mom to your very core, her very core, because now Belle is at a 26, tied with Cinderella.
Shoot. Are you okay?
Yeah, it's totally fine.
Okay.
I'm eating this up.
I don't. Core betrayal is scary.
Follow your heart. Listen to your heart. You will understand. That's from Pocahontas.
That was perfect.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. So, Belle. I'm sorry.
To Belle?
Yeah.
Excellent. No, I think that's totally great. Excellent. Okay, I think that stops the daisy chain. So we now have Belle with 3 Lily bonus points, which knocks her all the way up to 27. Oh, so looking at this list now, Rapunzel is in first place. Guys, by the way, I've been listening to these episodes that have coming out, and I totally messed up like what first place or second place was. What I meant was that they were like third or second, like from the bottom of the list. So I apologize about that. I'm sure that I'm driving everybody crazy with my bad numbers and all this kind of stuff. But anyway, So we have Rapunzel in first place with 28.5. Anna immediately below her with a 28. And then immediately below that, we have Belle with a 27, thanks to all of the magnificent Lily bonus points. So good job, Lily.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you for being on our show and helping us out with this project. I'm sure that in the future, if we do anything like Disney Villain Deathmatch or Disney Protagonist Deathmatch, that we're going to need some extra Lily bonus points. How do you feel about that?
Awesome.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks, girl. High five.
Okay.
That was the most intense round of Lily bonus points ever.
I'm so sorry that I missed some of it. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, we just had to go through like a train of points, which didn't even occur to me that would happen.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
hadn't even talked about that.
No,
so.
but it absolutely did. So,
But I think it's a great time then to do a little bit of a recap.
I think that is absolutely great. We will start from the very bottom of our list and get all the way to the top.
Perfect.
And yeah, that's how we're
And
going to do
then we'll
this.
crown our champion.
We will, absolutely.
That's so exciting.
It really is.
Okay.
If you've been paying attention, you already know who the champion is.
Well, yeah, obviously. Everybody knows. But it's still exciting.
Yeah, we all know. Yeah. But yes, so and you guys, okay, listen, again, it is approximately the middle of June when we are recording this, but this episode does not drop until, I checked the date, August 10th.
Whoa.
Assuming that everything goes well,
Yeah.
this comes out August 10th. And you guys all have been so amazing on Twitter. I have loved interacting with you guys. I have loved chatting with you guys. I have felt the pangs of guilt and terror
Right?
inside.
If I could just, like, as we say, part the kimono a little bit, like Sarah was like, I regret doing Disney Princess Deathmatch. What if people don't agree with us? What if they think we're terrible?
What if they
people
don't like us
me
anymore?
What if they don't like me anymore because Belle didn't get enough points? Everything's fine, Sarah.
Well, Belle just got 3 bonus points,
and she
so
just
I
got
don't know
3
what
Lily
else to
bonus
give
points.
you
So
guys.
obviously we were wrong about everything.
Clearly, yeah. I'm so sorry. I'm sure that I've apologized on Twitter several times by this point.
now.
Yeah, like just got on Hootsuite and scheduled an apology for every hour. I'm sorry about Belle. I'm sorry about Belle. I'm sorry about Belle. Hashtag DPDM. Please forgive me. But I mean, you all have your own scores. Like, go score your
That's true.
princesses.
Score
Yeah.
the princesses.
Score
yeah.
them.
And we'll add in now right here and after the fact where we also, just in case there's a discrepancy, we will also crown the listener favorite.
Yes, that would be really
and
great.
it might
yeah.
be the same, but either way, we'll let everybody know who the listener
Absolutely,
favorite
yeah.
was
I'll
as
make
well.
I'll make a special little graphic and we'll put that up there and we'll
Yeah.
make sure that like we retweet that from our Twitters and from the Common Room Radio Twitter and all that stuff and
Definitely.
let everyone know. Man, we're it. We did it finally. 13 princesses enter and 1 princess leaves.
This is so exciting.
I'm really excited.
Let's hear about it.
Okay.
Starting from the bottom, working our way up.
From the very bottom of the list, we had Princess Aurora of Sleeping Beauty with a whopping 12 points out of. Okay, so I thought that 31 was our cap, but I mean, I guess as long
It turns out with
30
Lily
is
bonus
the cap,
points,
and
yeah.
then Lily bonus points can like just
it's exponential.
exponential as much as we need them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Precisely.
Okay.
But yeah, Aurora at the very bottom with 12 points. I realize that a lot of you really enjoy Sleeping Beauty, and I do
We
not want to.
love you, Carla. You're right about Sleeping Beauty.
Yes.
You're right.
You are. We don't want it to. Again, this is the most subjective,
Totally subjective.
anti-scientific.
Yeah, absolutely.
Literally,
Yep.
Disney Princess Deathmatch, a journey through Liz and Sarah's feelings at that moment in time. That's all this is.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah. Glad you liked it. So Aurora with 12 points out of 30. That is certainly
Woof.
less than half, not
That
even a
is
50%.
And again, I absolutely love Once Upon a Dream. I think it's delightful. It's one of the best sequences that Disney ever did. So, yeah, no shade,
Yeah.
except that she's the worst.
She's out of. Okay, listen, because here's the thing. We're talking about like the worst house in a good neighborhood, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Like we are talking
Yeah.
about, I mean, like in the list of official Disney princesses, plus Anna and Elsa, Aurora is the worst.
There
right?
you go. Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, only technically.
Only technically. By the weirdo scores that we set. So right after Aurora with a whopping 12, we have somebody who made exactly 50% of the score, and that was Merida from Bray with a score of 15 out of 30.
I'm glad that's true because that's what I just said when husband and Vitten and Alan and David are all hanging out in the living room and they were like, well, how'd everything turn out? And I said that right above because they were saying, well, obviously all of the most modern ones are going to win. And I was like, oh, no.
I got
You think
into
so?
a
And yet,
pretty
there's Merida,
serious fight with a friend of mine who shall remain nameless.
who shall rename name.
Yep. I got into a fight with Joshua Unruh of Okie Geek, who said,
That's right. He was trying to defend Merida.
He was like, oh, well, you guys like scored Merida really high because she's the best, but then her movie is all over the place, right? And I was like, she's
Merida,
not that great.
Not the best
Not
by the Sarah Liz standard.
That's true. Now, Josh Unruh,
Clearly,
if she is your
the Josh
favorite,
Unruh standard is higher.
then own it.
For Merida.
Love what you love.
Love it.
Love what you love.
Gingers, baby.
Like Elizabeth Olsen said in that movie that she did with the guy who was on How I Met Your Mother, like the stuff that you like and don't waste time talking about the stuff that you don't.
There you go.
That's a paraphrase, but there we go.
Excellent.
I have the gift saved somewhere. Above Merida in third place, we have Snow White with 16.5, which was
good
shocking.
for you, Snow. Yeah, look
we
at
were
you.
very surprised.
Yeah, she was expected to be at the bottom of the barrel because
Yes.
her movie is kind of deemed silly by today's standards.
Absolutely.
And her person is deemed silly by today's standards.
But she was so kind and genteel.
She was really
and-
kind of delightful
and
in
we
her
were
way.
okay with like your daughter, like, you know, imitating Snow White's personality and actions.
At least her personality.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Certainly more than Merida.
Certainly more than Merida. Yeah.
I'm sorry about the Merida shade, but I ain't that sorry, y'all.
No, yeah, not that sorry.
Yeah,
that was
not at all.
painful to watch. That was my
pretty
least
bad.
favorite experience.
Seriously, the one thing, and I talked about this in the episode, but the one thing that gets me is a witch turned mom into a bear, and it's not my fault.
Yep. Yeah. And I know that they were being ironic, but still, it's just not amusing.
Still.
No, agreed.
After Snow White, we have Princess Tiana with a 19.5 from The Princess and the Frog, where we liked her a lot when she was a person, and as soon as she became a frog, we were out.
That's right. And again,
Yes.
she was lovely as a person. The music in that movie was quite lovely. There were a lot of excellent things for that movie, and if you're a big fan, then you know,
love what you love.
Yeah, more power to you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Totally agree with that. After Tiana is our first non-princess of the list. Really our only, because I guess technically a chieftain's daughter is a princess.
Technically so, yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as monarchies go. And yeah.
Anyway, Mulan got a 20.5.
Yeah.
She's not a princess.
She's not a princess, and that did just work against her.
It really, really
it's
did.
true.
And I know
her
that
song wasn't that great,
it
and
wasn't
that
that
worked
great,
against her too.
Um,
Her attire also not that great, which again, you know, should that count? Maybe not, but
when you're a Disney princess,
it's
needs
kind
to
of
count.
a thing.
Yeah. We're definitely. I mean, you and I have learned a lot about gender politics, I think, doing this show.
Which is so funny because between you and me, Sarah, I did not necessarily expect that to be a thing that happens
didn't
so
either.
consistently on this show.
Yes.
Like I thought we were going to be talking about Disney princesses. I did not think we were going to be talking about gender politics and yeah, what makes a strong character, what makes a strong woman,
what makes
but
a
here
strong
we are.
man.
Yeah, absolutely. But here we are.
Yeah, and I mean, if I'm being straight up honest, I didn't really want to dive into that stuff, but then it
Yeah.
just came up and was
You
so apparent.
can't not look at it.
Yeah, we would have to be blind,
Right,
Completely
yeah.
blind to see some of these things.
Yep.
Now, all of that being said, we are not trying to be sexist when we say no. We are definitely scoring these princesses on what their clothing is.
Right.
It's just like they're Disney princesses. Like dresses are a big part of who
Right,
they are.
totally
you know?
agree. Yep, it's a part of it's a part of what makes a Disney princess a Disney princess.
Guys,
It's
we
their
also
whole
included a
merchandise
zombie
line.
apocalypse section.
Right,
So
and
I
what
mean,
is that even? Yeah.
Right. Come on.
Yeah, you know, I feel like we're working too hard to explain ourselves.
You're right.
and
The
everything
ladies
will be
do
fine.
protest too much.
We do.
So after Mulan, we had Jasmine with a solid 23 out of 30.
And Jasmine, again, there was some discrepancy because I really quite like Jasmine.
Yes, and
But
that was the
you were
episode where I
not
was like,
into her.
if
Yeah.
your daughter
We were kinda
acting this
fighting.
way,
Yeah, and it's
she
hard-
is oversexed,
yeah.
and I still think that.
She was oversexed. You're right. Yeah, like as a woman, I really liked her. As a 16-year-old or whatever she was, it was a little
She's
bit.
like 14 or 15, I think.
I think she was 16.
I don't think that's true. I don't know. We'll have
I'm
to
pretty
listen.
sure. Yeah, we can listen to that one again.
Yep.
But he says, I'm almost certain it's stated in the film that she was 16.
We'll see. 'cause I
Either
feel like
way,
she's younger.
a little bit oversexed.
Yes,
but
completely agree. Yeah.
as a woman character, I
If she had been a
really
grown
like
woman,
Jasmine.
yeah, sure.
Yeah, as a teenager, it's a little bit problematic. Fair
yeah.
enough.
Yep.
Okay.
So after Jasmine, we have Elsa with a 24, which is a pretty solid. I mean, that's only 6 points away from the top, so that's
There
pretty
you go.
solid.
Okay.
We
Yeah,
literally, so Elsa is about halfway down our list here. We are literally in the section where it's like 0.5 points more
Oh, that's great.
than the person in front of them.
Cool.
You know what
Okay.
I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So right after Elsa, we have Ariel with a 25, which was such a relief for me because I was so worried.
That's right. You're afraid she's going to be like way down there.
I
but
was
she's
really
still pretty
concerned,
cool.
but she's still pretty great. Still pretty good.
Yeah.
A lot of nostalgic value there for me.
Sure. Great hair.
Perfect hair.
Right. Yeah.
Beating out Ariel and absolutely deserving it was like the surprise of this entire show, Pocahontas with a 25.5.
Pocahontas was the surprise of this entire
really
show.
was.
And it was a delightful surprise.
Yes.
Because that was a movie I had written off and mocked. Mocked that movie. But as an adult, it really kind of spoke to me, actually. And I really enjoyed going back through that one. And Pocahontas especially
was so
just
cool.
an excellent model of just awesome womanhood. Oh, yeah. I like her.
She got nothing below a 3.
Yeah.
And I mean, she got 2 5s, 3 5s, and a 4.5. And her 3s were for animal companion and attire. Because she had
which
just the
basically
one
means
outfit.
nothing.
It
So
basically
basically
means
everything about her actual person was amazing.
was great.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's just her
absolutely.
accessories that were lacking. So basically, Pocahontas.
See, even we know that none of this means anything, you guys.
Even we know. Yeah.
So after Pocahontas, we have your girl Cinderella, who sat at the top until we got to Rapunzel.
I'm so proud. And I know a lot of that was because I did push so hard for her. Like
7 weeks, Cinderella was like queen
when
of
that
the hen
episode
house.
came out and I listened to it, it had been so long since we had recorded it. It had been months since we recorded it because this had been kind of, on and off. And I was just like shocked by how many points that we actually attributed to her, even though she is my favorite.
Right.
But very pleased with it because she is my favorite.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
And again, I did give you a lot of leeway in that time.
You did.
Because
You did.
I knew that I
Yeah.
had Ariel coming up.
Yep.
I knew I had Rapunzel, and I knew I had Anna and Elsa. And I already was having to fight against the curve, being like, no, we're totally including them, even though they're not on the official list.
That's true.
So,
Well,
so-
I appreciate you giving me those 7 weeks of,
No problem.
of splendor.
Where every week I would look at the score and go, how is Cinderella
How
still
did
in
this
first?
even happen? How many points for zombie apocalypse? The mice would rescue her. They would. What? Sorry, you guys.
They'd like distract the
I
zombies for like
just
2 seconds,
like her.
maybe.
Okay, sometimes you just like people
That's
and you're a little
fine.
blind
That's
to other
totally
things.
fine.
Yeah.
So next we have Belle, who is ranked
Belle.
so high because of the 3 Lily bonus points
Which
she just
is
accrued.
excellent. That makes me so happy because Belle is a favorite. And it was weird when she landed a little bit lower on the list. And again, it wasn't
Yeah.
really her fault. Like
Right.
she didn't get the songs that she absolutely deserved.
Right,
With a voice
exactly.
like that especially. And then she had the kind of animal companion problem where she just kind of had like
Yeah, it was hard. Like, what do
it
you
was-
do with Lumiere and Cogsworth?
right.
I don't really know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it was a little bit awkward for her. But yeah, I'm so glad to see her
But
up there on
yeah,
the list
the
because
11-year-old absolutely was like, no, I picked Belle. No, I picked
And-
Belle.
yep.
No, I picked Belle. Mhm.
and you're right, she deserves to be there. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Belle in 3rd place overall out of all of our princesses. And guys, I know that Elsa technically is a queen, but she's a princess for like the first 5 minutes of the movie. And it seems silly to do Frozen and not include Elsa.
It does seem a little bit silly, yeah. And
Yeah.
you can't have a Disney Queen deathmatch because she's the only one.
All the others are evil.
Right. Yeah. Also, she didn't win, so
Yeah, so
no
whatever.
one's complaining. We're
Exactly.
fine. Yeah.
Anyway, so 3rd place, Belle. Good job. So all of you who have been hating on us for the last several weeks
Because Belle
screaming
didn't
because
work for
Belle
it, yeah.
only had a 24.
She's up there. She placed.
Yeah, she top
Yay.
3. She got the bronze medal, y'all.
Yeah.
like she did it.
It'll offset her gold robes really beautifully.
Oh man, she's gonna look amazing.
Amazing.
In
And her
2nd
brunette hair.
place for Disney Princess Deathmatch, our silver medalist of Disney Princess Deathmatch,
Oh my gosh.
Princess Anna.
is Anna.
I'm so proud of her.
You should be because she is kind of a mess, really.
A little bit,
Yeah. Like she's literally running into walls in that
Yep.
movie. But
She sure is.
was delightful. And she had amazing music. She had a great dress. She
So
was,
brave.
Yeah, completely
Loves
brave.
her sister so much.
Yeah,
Willing to,
full
I
of
mean,
love.
like, I absolutely want Anna on my team for Zombie Apocalypse because that girl's going to straight up sacrifice herself to save me.
Oh yeah, for
Like,
sure.
what else?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a harsh zombie apocalypse team. But okay. Yeah. Man.
And then to the surprise of almost no one.
Just no one.
But still not with a perfect score, which was surprising to me. Our first place gold medalist, queen of the Disney Princess Deathmatch, winner,
day ever,
Rapunzel from Tangled.
Rapunzel from Tangled. You
with
have won our hearts.
28.5. Anna only beat out by 0.5 points.
Wow.
Anna had a 28.
Yeah.
Rapunzel had a 28.5. It runs in the family, man. They're
Yeah,
cousins. Of
that's
course they're going to
true.
be winners.
May you forever wield your cast iron skillet against the enemy.
That is right.
May your love for Flynn continue to shine as bright as a lantern. May crazy Mother Gothel never rise from the ashes. May your
Chameleon live forever.
chameleon live forever, and may your haircut ever be so cute.
I
Cheers
get that
to
haircut
you,
like every
Rapunzel.
year. The only reason I'm not doing it this year is because I'm getting married and I wanted it to grow out.
There you go.
Yeah. Wow.
Much
You
love to
guys-
Rapunzel.
We made it.
We made it. And
We did
Rapunzel, you especially have stood tall.
Absolutely.
Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun dun dun. Boom. Dun dun dun.
So
I like that.
this is the end of our show,
This is it.
and we've never done like this kind of thing before.
No.
So I don't know what we do. I guess we go on just a little bit of a hiatus. And we'll see if anything comes about. You know, if I mean, should we?
I think this is where we really start asking what should come next. Like, what do our listeners want to hear? I know that there was early on a lot of talk about the villains, the villain deathmatch being
And I'm
the
going to
big
go
one.
ahead and tell you guys, I think that Disney villain deathmatch would be very different. I think that we would actually do a bracketing system and then spend 30 minutes talking about,
yeah,
here we
yeah.
have Jafar versus Ursula, who would win, which I think is more interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Because honestly,
Yeah.
our villains are not going to get as much screen
Right.
time as our princesses, so we won't be able necessarily to do the grading system. But we can get in here and determine,
Yeah.
like just based on who they are and what they can do, who's going to win in a fight.
Fascinating. Yep.
Yeah. So
Well, there's the princes too, which will go back to
Yes.
probably a lot of gender politics, which is interesting discussion, I have to say.
Exactly,
If not
yep.
looked for, it is interesting discussion. And we talked about doing protagonists, and maybe that's a good one to save for later because it's
Probably
it's
so.
new movies.
yes, exactly.
So, and for these other ones, it would be probably shorter podcasts or shorter episodes because
Probably
we've
so.
already talked about their movies. Yeah.
And the other thing that's really interesting is that there is another Disney princess film coming out. I believe it's in 2017.
That's right.
It's called Moana, and it's about she's either Hawaiian. I want to say
believe
she's
she's
Hawaiian,
Hawaiian. Yeah.
or Polynesian, perhaps.
maybe Polynesian.
But
Pacific Islander.
a Pacific Islander princess.
Yes.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson is in this movie. And they got
Well,
a legit
sign me up.
Pacific Islander girl to like voice Moana. So
That's
it's
awesome.
entirely
Good for
possible
them.
that we will be able to add like one more, like maybe we can go see
Yeah,
that movie
sure.
and then add that to our list and like just do a
Yeah.
little bonus, or maybe we'll do it as like a Patreon exclusive or something. And if you are not a Patreon of Common Room Radio, I want to say that you should be, first of all, because it helps us to keep doing the things that we're doing.
It does. And when we say
ad-free
that-
and free for you.
Yeah, it really does help us to keep doing things because it does cost us a lot of our time. And yeah, to be able to support us in that way does help us to provide you with more content.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. So all you have to do is go over to patreon.com/Common Room Radio. There's all kinds of stuff over there right now, you guys.
There's fun stuff on our
we
Patreon
have
page.
like a
Yeah.
Rocky episode,
Yep.
a Ghostbusters episode, all kinds of stuff. You can find like the early episodes of Earth 405 over there,
Right.
Crisis on Infinite podcast that I do with Alistair Stevens of Storywonk and Vinton Bain of Graphomania. All kinds of fun, neat things over there. All you have to do is just kick us $1 a month or whatever you can afford. If you cannot spend any money to support us in that way, which I totally understand, I really, really do. The economy's like crap, like just constantly all the time, forever and always. You got to be like a Disney princess to be making any kind of money at all. I don't even know. And then the best way to support us is via word of mouth. You can talk about us on Twitter. You can talk about us on Facebook. You can head on over to iTunes and leave us a rating or a review on iTunes. That really helps us
does
out.
help. Yeah.
It helps a lot. Absolutely. And also Mighty Fine Shindig will be coming up very soon.
Yeah.
My wedding is like 3 weeks from the drop date of this episode. Which is insane. Okay, so there is a giant list of all of the Disney Princess scores
Yes.
that listeners have been adding
Yes.
thanks to the amazing Oddwonks over on Twitter.
And you can find them on Twitter. Just search at Oddwonks and the very top tweet pinned to their page will have all of the spreadsheets, including the Disney Princess Deathmatch spreadsheet, where you can add your own scores.
Absolutely. And I think that one even goes through and like averages everything out. So how everybody is like scoring all the princesses, we determine the average at the very end.
I don't understand spreadsheets.
I know you don't.
I really don't. But I recommend that you go there.
Yes, please do. If you want to chat with us on Twitter about who you think should have won, it's Rapunzel, you guys. Rapunzel absolutely should have won. She is the best Disney princess, and why are we even talking about this? Literally, the only reason we kept going is because I wanted to do Frozen, and we had to do Brave to get there. I mean, to go ahead and just like rip the kimono right off and toss it to the floor. Done with that kimono. Anyway, if you want to get in touch with us on Twitter, you can find me at Elsa Grab the Salt.
Don't say.
Yes. So have I explained on this show why my Twitter handle is that thing? I know that it's the last episode.
I don't think you have on this show.
Okay.
So go ahead.
All right. So it's a really stupid story, and it's only funny
Super fun, though.
to like 3 people.
I am one of those people.
Yeah, it's you and me and like one mystery person that I haven't discovered who that is yet. So if it's you, let me know. All right. So my thought process was that the show Supernatural, there is a set of brothers, Dean and Sam, who go around fighting monsters and fighting demons. And one of the things they use to do that is salt. Okay, now stay with me now.
For
this
sure.
is where it gets weird.
Okay.
When you put salt on ice, it melts the ice.
I didn't even think of that.
That's part of the thing.
Okay, all right.
When you put salt on ice, it melts the ice.
Yeah.
And so, first of all, I thought that it would be funny if, like, you just, like, fan cannoned it, that you replace Dean and Sam with Elsa and Anna, because they're a team of sisters. And it is funny.
Sisters
it's
instead
funny.
of brothers. Already
right,
good.
exactly.
Yeah.
So then she's using, like, her ice powers to fight all these demons. And then I thought of, like, the rock salt and the salt circles. Salt melts the ice water. And so then I drew this picture of Anna and Elsa wearing Sam and Dean's clothing.
This is really important, though. Which one is which? Who
well,
is Sam
Elsa
and who
is
Dean
and Anna is Sam, because like they're the older and the younger siblings. That's just how it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, all right.
Now, personality-wise, it might be different. We'll talk about that another time.
Yeah, okay, all right.
On Twitter, perhaps. But anyway, so I drew a picture, and I'll put it up again for this. Since we're doing this big, long explanation, I might just have to make it my Twitter
there
avatar.
You go.
We'll figure it out. Of them wearing the outfits with Anna screaming, "Elsa, grab the salt." And that just has been it. And it's my very favorite username I've ever come up with, because it is so convoluted and esoteric. And again,
Very
funny
obscure.
to 3 people, me, Liz, and you maybe? Get in
Are
touch
you
with
our
me.
person?
Are you the person? Are you the one who gets it? My dear sweet friend Jamie had me explain it to her one time, and the whole time I was just thinking, you're not going to think it's funny. You're not going to think it's funny. You're not going to get it.
Doing this?
Why am I doing this? My friend Rachel thinks it's funny, so that's pretty good.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you can find me at a simple, boring Twitter handle, which is LizBethRay555, because that's the Lily bonus point. Lily, that's her birthday.
That is her birthday.
555. Yep. So there you go.
Right.
Now you know. Mystery solved.
Disney magic. You can get in touch with both of us at Common Room Cast on Twitter.
Right.
That's mostly Liz, if we're just being honest. But like, I get all the notifications for whenever Common
There
Room
you
Cast
go.
does anything.
Okay.
So yeah, there's that. You can visit us over at commonroomradio.com, where you can find all of the other shows that we do, like What About This, which your husband does with our friends Vinton and Robbie and whatever guest he can scrumble together to be a part of the show.
I like that.
And join in this wacky journey where they take part in things they've never done before and share life stories. And it's really, really great. I highly recommend it.
It is really great.
Your husband is excellent at podcasting.
Thank you. I'm a big
not
fan
just
of
saying
husband.
that because he produces this show.
Although he also does that.
He also does that and
Yeah.
does an excellent job.
Yeah.
You can also find all of our Odd Man Out episodes over there, where it's Liz and I and our buddy Alan. 2 of us like a thing and force the third one to do that thing. Including the movie Enchanted. If you want to hear our thoughts about the movie Enchanted, there's
That's
an
a
Alan
great
versus
episode.
Enchanted.
There is,
It's
yeah.
really, really excellent. You can also find Fathoms Deep, the Black Sales podcast, which I'm sure is like the most famous podcast in America at this point here on August 10th.
You're so sweet.
Yeah. Not my show, but I love you and I love Daphne Olive.
Every time she has to say not my show. We all know, Sarah. We know it's not your show.
I'm just saying. You know what's my show? Frozen. So I'm good for a while. Okay, well, I think that's going to do it. I think that does it.
I think that does it. I think we're done with Disney Princess Deathmatch, which is kind of sad and lovely.
Yeah.
We'll have to pour some more wine and go drink on the porch, I guess, and celebrate the end of an era.
The end of an era.
Of a monarchy, if you will. Yeah.
Several monarchies, in fact.
Many monarchies.
Many much monarchies. Toppled.
This has been so much fun. Thank you again for joining in with us, for having fun with us, for putting your votes onto the spreadsheet.
Absolutely. You guys are so awesome. How much you interact.
So much fun.
It's so great. I love it.
Insane. Again, we're really early. Like from our point of view, it's really early on. And already all week long, we hear so much about Disney princesses.
I
and about the
retweet
Deathmatch.
everything. Anything with the hashtag DPDM, I'm there. I'm like, retweet.
So much fun. So again, thanks to everybody for being a part of this. And yeah, let us know what we should do next, because we're going to do it for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, we sure are, because I'm back in the city very, very soon.
That's right.
Yeah. And it'll be a lot easier for us to do. We'll never have to Skype again, Liz.
Wow.
Yeah.
Praise the Lord.
Yeah.
Indeed.
That
It
was
is
the
well
worst
with
part.
my soul.
So thank you all so much for everything. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining us in this Disney Princess Deathmatch. I hope your knuckles aren't too terribly bloody. Grab a towel on your way out. And be sure to shake hands with Rapunzel, the winner of the Disney Princess Deathmatch. I'm Sarah Cade.
And I'm Liz Stevens.
7 a.m., the usual morning lineup. Grab all my spears and get ready to kill. Destroy the princesses as they come and line up. Jasmine Bell.
Stab again. And by then, it's like, come on, Jasmine.
And then I'll grab an axe, or maybe 2 or 3. Have a sword with me. You're going down, Disney. I'll slice and chop and swish and kill, and basically, this got really out of hand. Just wonder, where did this blood come from? And I'll be fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting until the death match is won. I think that's the blooper.
That's a wrap. That's it. That's it.